Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this very special edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, broadcasting here live from NGC Studios here in South Florida. And I want to thank you all so very much for being here tonight. It's a very special show we've got planned for you here tonight. But before we begin, let me go over some contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SamDeBurial_NDC. Hashtag Whitfield Report. You can follow me on Gab and Minds at Sam Whitfield. I posted the stream link to Gab, by the way. And you can visit my website, thesamwhitfield.com, facebook.com/Whitfield Report. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And if you would like to contribute to tonight's show, streamlabs.com/The Whitfield Report is the place to go. $2 TTS is the minimum. Always appreciated, but not mandatory. I do have a dono I want to play before we begin the show. So let me go ahead and play that. OJ's White Bronco actually sent in a donation at the end of last week's stream, so let me go ahead and play that.
Sam, will you be my internet daddy now and we can share a future where he stays in our deep underground sex dungeon?
Well, I will always be your internet daddy, OJ, if you want me to, and, thanks for the $10 dono. But, anyway, tonight's program is going to be very special. First off, I am joined by the legendary Apex Gamma, who will be hosting the program. So, you there, Apex?
Oh, I'm here. How you doing tonight, Sammy?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm very excited. Happy to be here, as always.
And then, folks, we have the legend, the myth. Some of you weren't quite sure he was even real, but oh man, is he real. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Milker of Nations, Milker Nation.
He's muted.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, man. How you doing tonight, dude?
Howdy, sir.
Hey, man. Thanks for that intro.
Oh, you're welcome. We're both big fans of your work. I don't even know where to begin other than just say thank you for agreeing to come on the program.
Oh, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're welcome. So, I guess the big question, if we just want to, hit the ball out of the park, who are you? You're one of the internet's biggest enigmas, at least in the ex-bear community. So, anywhere you want to start, man, feel free.
One of the internet's biggest enigmas. I like that.
Well, listen, just to add on that before you answer, sorry, I don't want to add on the question. Actually, no, I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, how about I start with like how I started making videos about Owen Benjamin?
Yeah, how did you come across Owen, and how did you decide to start making videos about him? I guess is a good place to start, in my estimation.
I didn't know much. I didn't really know anything about him. And, I had seen him. I watch a lot of truther channels, I guess, truther conspiracy theorist stuff.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He would get mentioned on those types of shows every once in a while, and it was always for some fleeting story. Like, do you remember that limo crash that happened?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He had some involvement with that.
Yeah, he knew somebody in it, didn't he? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that that's kind of the first I ever remember hearing his name, but didn't actually like get on my radar until my friend showed me this clip. She's like, you know that Owen Benjamin guy, and I was like, vaguely familiar. I remember him from the limo crash, and she said, "You got to see what he's saying about Jordan Peterson's daughter."
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and that was the craziest shit I ever heard. And I'd spent, I don't know, a year or so before that watching, some of the biggest, I guess, most hardcore LARPers on YouTube. It's kind of like a nerdy interest I had watching this kind of like new breed of YouTube
I share that.
LARP.
I share that interest. I share that interest for sure. Go ahead.
It's fascinating.
It's fascinating for sure. Yeah.
It's weird. But so I had seen some egregious LARPing, some crazy stuff happen, but I mean that was unique, him saying, well, just that he took it to when he was saying over and over that Jordan Peterson raped his daughter.
Right.
That he would just
asserting. Yeah.
It blew my mind. It's an insane way. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, and most people haven't.
Well, I mean,
we've seen tons of meltdowns, of course, but
I honestly wasn't that shocked that he would say something like that, and it's only because he doxed John Arcade and another.
I was gonna say, for the veterans, especially you, Sammy, who goes back even further than me. It's really not that. I mean, it's egregious. There's no doubt. Every fucking word that came out of his mouth on the topic was fucking disgusting and unfounded. Like most things, though, and that's the thing, is he was talking about that like. I find it fascinating. I love to hear these stories from people like Scorpio and. I mean, Sam, and I mean, of course, Sam goes way further back, but other bears in the community comment on my videos and your videos even that I communicate with, and how they, like, what was their moment where they're like, what the fuck? What is this? What is this dude? Some people just stumbled upon him, like you, but a good handful, especially in my channel, they find him as a source of entertainment and something of a role model. Maybe not that to a degree, and especially not anymore. The grift has gone hard, especially since your channel has come up, which is what I really admire. From day one, I don't know, I don't even remember how I found your channel, but I found it like 2 weeks after, and like, you make the videos that I wish I could make, that I try to make with the shitty means that I have. You make the points that I try to make with entertaining editing and shit. So that it's so much more appealing for people to watch and absorb, and I really admire that, man. It's awesome. I said before privately that your channel is the Owen channel that the internet deserves, and I mean that just from my experience anyway. I don't know what like your goals are with it, what your motivation behind it. Is it to expose this man, or are you just making videos about something funny because it's funny? I mean, like, what's your, like, what's your motivation for it primarily?
To destroy Owen Benjamin and everything he stands for.
I like that. Okay, that's good. I co-sign that.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly though, I don't think you have to do much to destroy him though, because he destroys himself on a regular basis.
It's true, and that's what I found so much fun about it in my time, and I hope, honestly, I find an itch to get back at it. I feel so inferior with channels like Milker Nation making videos now. to just make my shitty screen recording videos is, my whole point was to get more people's attention. And I feel like more people are paying attention and making expose videos and just pointing out the stupid shit he says, the lies he tells, and that sort of thing. He definitely is on a one-way path to a train wreck. I don't think there's ever been a question in my mind. He has a pretty fascinating way of stalling it, though, and prolonging his inevitable demise.
I always like.
How do you feel about that, Milker? Actually, I think by the time you found him, he was already on D Live, right? Or close to around about that time? No, it was before that.
Not yet. He wasn't on D Live yet. He was.
Well,
it was a little bit before the getting banned LARP.
Yeah. So yeah, prior to that, I was getting hit. Johnny was getting hit. Alan Powell was getting hit for literally just uploading clips of the man, and every appeal that went through. Like I'm just up. This dude's talking about burying people under his fucking fence and explaining how to get rid of bodies, and I'm saying how that's bad, and you're gonna fucking give me a strike, but not him. Whatever. And that went on forever, dude. I found that really strange. So yeah, I do think it's a LARP. I still don't think he's fully banned off YouTube. I mean, I've said that forever. There's proof of his monetization, or at least to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, unless Milker has something to say, I don't believe that Owen's fully banned off YouTube either. And even if he was, I know that there are plenty of bears that are just uploading all of his stuff now, probably. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know if either of you remember, but right before Owen got, he deleted all of his shit or privated everything on his main channel, which I made a video about because he got scared. And then he went to his backup channel, and then he got scared there and was like, "Hey, I have this third Owen comedy or whatever the fuck it was." Excuse me. And he was promoting that channel for like 2 weeks before he quote unquote got the final axe and moved over to D Live. But then that channel, after I don't know, like a week or so, started uploading exclusive Owen content, like some of his streams, not necessarily from D Live, but private footage from that stupid 3-show tour that he did. That like one show got canceled. What I think about, I've been cutting a bunch of trees down in my yard because I have a fuckload of trees and dragging a bunch of branches, and I've actually had to stop myself, or like I've actually had to stop from laughing because just a random thought. This was earlier today, that the last successful job, like real job that Owen had, was dragging limbs. He was a limb dragger for his big brother that he failed at. He couldn't even successfully drag branches for a living.
God.
And those motherfuckers make good money. Like he could have done that forever.
Guys, it was so tiring dragging tree limbs for my brother. You have
bet your
no
ass it's
idea.
tiring.
But he was a ground guy. He was a ground guy. Right? I heard him saying that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He literally was a limb dragger. I mean, that's like the pejorative for the people cutting the limbs off as they're climbing up, the ground guys, or the limb draggers, whatever. I mean, he's more of a knuckle dragger, if you ask me. But
he's like, guys, I was making $20 an hour as a ground guy. So, the bear in chat's like, $20 is pretty good for a ground guy. He's like, yeah, it was my brother paying me. He was trying to help me out.
Oh, you have it so hard, Owen. Yeah.
His example of his low-paying job was a job that was artificially inflated because it was his brother
exactly.
doing him a favor.
Really, you know what? It's not a hard job either, dude. Like cutting trees down is hard work, but it's not. It just takes physical work. You have to be in like decent physical shape, and it actually helps you stay in shape and get in better shape. You just have to not be a fucking pussy and a 7 foot tall male to female to male, transgender post-op. Somehow he got his penis removed and then put back on. Supposedly, this is all theory. Amy
Well,
is the actual man in the relationship. Also theory.
yeah. Well, feel free to jump in. All I have to say about the jobs thing is, it's hilarious that he considered writing for Steven Crowder a low-paying job, that he was only making $30 an hour. I mean, like Crowder or not, what Owen was getting from that show was exposure and a large-ass platform.
Well, the thing is depending on what day you listen to Owen, and I'm positive that Milker knows this, he uses that as either an argument for, like, it's like a positive angle or it's a negative angle, depending on whether he wants to play the victim that day or he wants to play self-righteous. Like, I used to make fucking $30 an hour writing jokes for Steven Crowder. I don't need your fucking lemons or whatever. Or, like you said, all he was paid was $30 an hour to write his fucking jokes. He's very good at what he does. I do have to say, back with the first conversation I ever had with Johnny Arcade on stream, he said much of the same things that I feel now about Owen. Like, he's not as stupid as I at first thought, for one. I actually have more in common with him than I first wanted to admit. And I think that's why I hate him so much, because he embodies all the things that, like, you try to change about yourself as a man, being a fucking pussy and blaming everybody else for your problems and building shitty fucking fences and needing an 85-year-old man to build a chicken coop, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Shaming your family because you can't shut your fucking mouth, that sort of thing. But Milker, actually, I wanted to ask you because I actually don't know that I want to know the answer to this, but like, I feel like you're either some sort of wizard with an army.
My dad's a professor. Yeah.
Oh shit! So you might be a fucking. Are you wearing a fucking lab coat, dude? You better lab coat right now.
Dude, my dad fucked my godfather.
Did he steal all your mom's money though too? I mean, like $10,000 or something to pay that. No, you're either a wizard, like a literal wizard with editing and shit, or I think, okay, to back up a little bit, the reason you've been so mysterious, I want to say, like Sam has pointed out, and I honestly stand by it, because I had wild theories about who you could be because of your ability to pull clips from places that, like, I mean, I don't know where your ability to, like, pull shit from, 8 months ago that matches 3 days ago. It's just so, again, your channel popped up and all of a sudden you were making the best videos I could have ever hoped to make on your first couple of whacks, as far as, because my whole point was putting him, I couldn't always edit him together. So I had to remind the audience. I would pause it and be like, remember when he fucking said 3 weeks ago about this and that? Now he's saying this and you can't fucking do this, where you literally can go back and find that clip and put it in perfectly, along with another clip that I maybe didn't even think about. I find that awesome. And I watched Owen. Most people know this. I watched Owen as a fan way back in the day before he ever got kicked out of his town, when he was still dragging limbs. At least I think he was. Sitting in front of that window, playing the piano and looking at memes. He wore his glasses. He streamed in the morning, drank coffee. I watched him open that fucking stupid pack of gummies. and show us retard confusion, like, these are gummies, they're actual gummy, well, it's just like the lack of comedian in him, unable to, like, realize what was happening. In retrospect, though, that's part of the reason. I've said this before too. It was like it's like an exercising of my Owen demons. Like, the only thing I ever sent him, which again I've publicly stated, was a 17 cents. It was a Lowe's gift card that had 17 cents left on it, but it had like a $50. It was a $50 gift card that I had, that I purposefully left less than $1 on so that I could send it to Owen, but he never addressed it. But beyond that, I spent time watching him and actually like listening to him and taking him seriously before again, this was,
Hey,
dude.
hey,
Go
gentlemen.
ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. First off, I have a few comments. Um, One is that Apex account wants to room whack with Milker. It sounds like that's what the chat.
Listen. What they don't know, what they need to understand is, Milker and I have been room whacking for weeks, so y'all are behind. Get with the program. Go ahead. What's the next one? What else you got?
Also, and also, I, and also the legendary Johnny Arcade wants to get in on this. Room whack of a
See?
show. So is that
How do you feel about that, Milker?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
Hell yeah.
all right? I'll invite him into
Well,
the.
but before that happens, could you answer that? Do you have is there like a method, or you just
Oh.
do you have like a data? Do you log Owen? Do you have? I mean, do you just spend countless hours fucking going through his shit like I used to do, or like how do you? What's your method for his video making, man?
Part of it is that I have the main part is that I have someone helping me, so it's kind
That's
of
always good.
yeah. We kind of geek out over this. It's our interest. We watch Owen and we're like, "Can you believe this shit?" And
Yeah.
then it morphed into like sending each other timestamps, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "Wow, like I could do at this point. I could do a whole compilation of him calling his fans whore. And I could make a song
Yeah.
to it, and
Yeah.
it kind of went like that. So that's number one, I think. And then this is like my friend is like exceptionally good at this type of thing for whatever reason. She's good, and like I can she's like a encyclopedia. Like I could say, hey, remember we talked about Owen doing whatever sociopathic thing, and she could be like, I could find it somehow. She's able to find that episode.
Oh, okay. Dude, that's awesome. That's good to hear, because that makes sense.
I owe you channels like yours and Sam's and Johnny Arcade like a debt of gratitude, because even though I may not have used your clips in my videos, like a lot of times I would get inspiration from your videos, and then I would talk to her and I would be like, can you find the original of this? Yeah. So that's what I would say was my primary edge. The other thing is that I have a background in computers, like software engineering.
Right on.
And the way I'm able to do these supercuts is that YouTube has these transcripts. They automatically transcribe what people are saying when you upload. So, you can create a script that will download search every Owen transcript and tell you the exact timestamp.
Oh my god, dude. You
know
know
what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, because I just listened to what I believe was the first ever vocal appearance on the internet of MC Jarbo, who I am a big fan of.
Dude, I listened to that too. That guy's amazing.
MC Jarbo, he did an interview on the Dick Show just the other day, and
I watched that.
So you heard it. He described this fucking program that he made that basically did what you're describing, and I've actually kind of put you two together in my mind, like as a similar kind of savants in this sort of internet, this new era of like trolling, just content making in general. Dude,
well,
you solved
the puzzle, and that's what I'm here to announce. That I'm just kidding.
MC Jarbo. Oh shit! How did you change your British accent?
That guy,
No,
unbelievable. Like people should go check that guy out if they
absolutely.
haven't.
Yeah,
And
dude. I used to watch the Honest Matt show because I mean I'm way back Killstream fucking days from before the Mundane Matt exposure. But of course I rode that ride too. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, man. I was just I'm a big fan of his, and I'm an equally big fan of yours. I feel like you could do similar shit.
oh no, I couldn't. He blew like his work's unreal. I have no idea how he does it.
Well, I
I
mean,
know it's
maybe
something similar, but yeah, he has a
yeah,
he
maybe I
has a custom.
misspoke, but I feel like I hold you guys in the same kind of regard as far as creators in my spectrum of creators. I watch and respect because
I
I don't
appreciate that.
understand how either of you do it. I mean, he maybe to you he's on a totally different level, but to me as a fucking retard that makes videos recording his screen and recording through my phone mic, it's all magic to me, man. So. Where's
Well,
Johnny at?
I guess ultimately a better way to put it is that I'm creating the beast system you're all going to be sucked into.
Uh,
Through
I
it's
see.
via AI, and I'm going to. It involves the
And viruses aren't
vortex
real,
at the Owen
except
video.
computer viruses. Oh man,
Mil-
Can I
that's
ask?
awesome.
Sorry, go ahead.
I have a question for Milker Nation. I'm curious. A lot of the videos, and maybe it's just my algorithm, but how my algorithm works on YouTube. But whenever I see your videos, it's often on the subject of Owen being an obvious, homosexual that makes Freddie Mercury look straight. I mean, Owen. I just want to put this out there so someone can clip this. Owen Benjamin is so gay, he makes Freddie Mercury look straight. Um, so with that being said, I mean, Milker, some of my all-time favorite video of yours is the Owen Obsession music video that you did. So what what convinced you to focus on the Owen is gay angle, because that is something that the Bears tried to hide for the longest time.
That's
Just the sheer amount he talked about it. I was like,
the sheer obviousness of it, right? That's a fucking human being with sight. Go ahead. Sorry.
it's just weird. It was just weird to me. They would just go on and on about dicks and being gay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
I'm like,
it's not normal.
Yeah, it's still puzzling.
I was actually going to ask, as it's kind of a branch on Sam's question, but I was going to ask if you have an angle of focus for Owen. I mean, there are definitely. I mean, he provides ample evidence for the closet homosexual shit, but I don't know if there's a clear angle that you're trying to attack from this, or maybe not attack, but poke at, expose, his lies. I mean, you cover it all and you do it quite well. But I'm just curious if any one of them stand out more to you than the others.
Any attack vectors you're asking about? I don't know.
No, just not attack vectors, just his I don't know, his, I guess, the flaws that you focus on, the things that you pay attention to or try to point out in certain videos. I guess again, he does provide ample evidence for all of them, so it just depends on the stream, I assume. That's my guess, but that's kind of why I was asking. Well, okay, let me reframe it, because my point was always I was trying to point out his lies, the fact that he lies a lot, all the time. And of course I would sprinkle in, he's trying to hide he's gay, and I would, call him a faggot and all the other things that I would get drunk and say in my stupid videos. But mostly my focus was to look, this dude is a liar. He's lying to you about all of these things. And I guess, is that like your point? Is that your point, or are you just trying to say, look at this fucking idiot, pretending to be straight and lying and pretending to be a farmer? And is it just is it more broad? I guess that's more. Is it a broad spectrum fucking spread, or are you more fine focused?
You know what it is? It's more than that. It was so someone going on the internet and lying, doing a character, bullshitting. I've sat through Q. I sat through Q for well over a year before Owen. So I was like, I'm like pretty like numb to this kind of stuff, jaded.
Right.
But I think so that even when he said those crazy things to Jordan Peterson's daughter, even through that, I don't know that I would have took such an interest if I didn't see other people like they still it didn't seem to people were so forgiving of him. He was getting away with it, like he wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, like, I guess that whatever he'd call wizardry, but people that like my peers that I like hang out with and was like my online social circle, or closest thing to it, like they were fans of this guy.
Okay.
And when he came over to D Live, he was, it was the big influx of bears. So you had bears in every channel and watching every stream. And a lot of those streamers that I would watch were embracing the bears, because they like to have a boost in numbers. They're like, oh, this is great. Owen Benjamin came and he brought us all these new viewers. And I was like, the guy's pretty bad. Like, didn't you hear what he said about Jordan Peterson's daughter? Yeah. And then I realized how different it is, like me describing it as someone who had never watched him before versus how not a big deal that is if you're familiar with him up until that point.
No,
I find that fascinating too. Go ahead, Sam. Sorry.
No, Milker. I completely get that because I had a similar experience last summer, actually, like right around this time of the year, actually. I was at like a college Republican / Libertarian conference, and I shared with people that I have a show, and I swear to God, I did not bring Owen up, but someone at the conference brought Owen up and was saying that like they wanted to invite Owen to speak on their college campus, and I told them that might not be such a good idea. And then I started to like explain stuff, and I explained the stuff with the whole gummy thing, and they're like, wait, that was you and your friend group? And I said, yeah. So I sent them links to Johnny Arcade's videos at the time. Next morning over breakfast, same guy comes up to my table and says, yeah, man, I really appreciate you sending me those videos. We're not gonna have Owen on our campus anytime soon. So.
Gamma Rage Squad. The Gamma Rage Squad strikes again.
But yeah, no, it's similar in the sense that like he LARPed as like a conservative for so long, and like that was the reason why I got into this, was I wanted to expose him as being like a fake conservative, and mission accomplished.
And that's well, again, he ultimately did that himself, but your work didn't hurt. And that's, excuse me, one of the things I actually have been meaning to ask you, both in private and there's no reason to keep it private, but I've just been meaning to ask you, Milker, is have you watched Owen back far enough? I don't even know if the streams still exist, but back probably 2.5, maybe somewhere around 2 years ago, it was around Christmas time, and he was inside. Well, I mean, it was a a pretty vast period of time, but I have like a specific clip in my head. But he used to, not only did he not hate the quote unquote chosen people of Israel, but he wouldn't even say Jews, like he wouldn't even make like a Jew joke. He would be playing his piano, doing his parody songs. God, I wish I could fucking remember. I had it in my head for so long. He would be like singing a song about some sort of something, and instead of the line would rhyme with ending with Jew or the Jews, and he would pause and shoehorn in Saudi Arabians or Saudi Arabia or something like that, and he would consistently be like, listen guys, like a normal person, be like, not all Jews, it's not all Jews, it's not all Jews. That was a regular thing out of his mouth. And then just like the flat earth and every fucking thing else, he heel turned. And that's when that was a couple of months after I became hip to his nonsense. So I consider my era of Owen the second real fallout of his fans, because the Danger Zone was the first, that was the bomb that set Owen off into his fucking onto this fucking train wreck path that he's on. The Nimmer shit, that was all Danger Zone. I mean, that's deep lore.
Apex.
And most people listening know that, but
Apex, how dare you? You shouldn't say the N word on my stream. Now I'm gonna get canned off YouTube.
Which N word? I don't even know which one.
You said Nimmer. You said Nimmer, dude.
Oh no. Well, yeah, but no. The point that I don't even remember the point that I was trying to make. I'm kind of baked.
All right, let me ask you. Let me ask you guys. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, feel free.
No. You go ahead.
All right. You have questions for us?
Yes.
Feel free.
I want to know. Tell me your reaction when, you'd been embroiled in whatever Owen shit that's been going on, and you get that notification on YouTube, and it's Alan Powell, and you click on it, and he says that he's on his way to Ursa Manor.
You want to go first, Sam?
Yeah. Well, let me just. A lot of my regulars know this, but for Milker Nation, I've actually known Alan for a while now online. I first met him on Facebook, and he and I wound up like hijacking one of the not really hijacking, but one of the but one of the unbearable Facebook groups, one of the admins, just kind of as a prank during the whole Nimmer thing, added both Alan and I as admins. So because of that, Base Texan said that the Facebook group had been hijacked by Alan Powell and I, and that we had compromised the entire Bears by just being admins of their biggest Facebook group. So then Alan and I got to know each other a bit, and then when Alan did his driving to Ursa Manor video, at first I was like, holy crap, this guy is serious. But then I took another look at the video, and I saw what Alan was doing, and it's genius.
Listen, aside from all the I didn't really know Alan. I was commenting on his videos when I was making, even before I was making mine, and I liked his content. I liked his character. Again, I don't do social media or of any kind, so I wasn't on Reddit at that point. I wasn't on Discord. So I got that notification, and I watched the video, and the whole time I had the shittiest shit-eating fucking grin on my face, because I didn't know what I was watching. But to be totally honest, I thought it was more real than fake at first. Much like Sam, I'm like, holy shit, that can't be real. And of course, I watched it again, and I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here. And then it was in Future Nobody, back when Future Nobody was streaming. It was that same night. I was in his chat, and he was scolding people. He's like, "Of course he's not fucking going, you idiots."
4 left
You know, so
turns. Four.
it looks like we have a new guest, I think,
Yes.
in the room.
Yes, Johnny Arcade has entered the room. Whack.
Don't fucking
gamma
touch
rays,
me, bro.
the gamma rays shine bright.
What's up, guys?
How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Good.
Hey, Johnny Arcade.
What's up, man? Good work out there.
Likewise. You haven't been doing much Owen stuff lately. You've been uploading Biden stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hate that motherfucker too.
You,
Not like
you, ain't,
Owen.
you ain't black.
You ain't black.
You ain't black.
Taking fucking guns. Oh, I hate the fucking gun. Yeah, I'm taking the AR-14. he and Owen would get along going shooting really well.
Dude, that's a good impression. You got the cadence. I got a lot of leg hair.
Mitt,
Terrible. Wait till I put on my Ray-Bans. Then I can do them real well.
Mitt Romney wants to put y'all back in chains. So,
Man, and conservatives are racist. But could you imagine, like, if Trump came out and he's like, you're not white if you don't vote for me. It's like,
Yeah.
what the
Right.
fuck? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Crazy.
Yeah.
all
Crazy.
Oh well, I shouldn't have spoke like that. I'm sorry. I've been alive for 95 years, and fucking, we used to still subjugate black people when I spoke to them as a young man when my brain still worked. Sorry.
Yeah. You know,
Vote for me.
crazy shit, dude. It's like Biden right now. He's got the same type of following as Owen does. The people literally say they'll boil babies. He could boil a baby and eat it, and they wouldn't. It's fascinating to like. People are so against Trump, dude. They're willing to put in somebody that has flat out said, dude, like they will allow health care for illegal immigrants. They'll open the fucking borders. Like this country's over. Like it's
Yeah,
wild.
it is.
I did though. Before I forget, I wanted to address the Alan Powell thing because I'm pretty sure I remembered him saying something about it like a couple of days before he did the video, so we kind of knew something like that was coming. And when I watched it, like I knew it was a joke.
Yeah.
But when I was like immediately, I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy to disprove because the way he cut it is so
Oh,
simple
yeah.
to show. And then fucking Mersh freaked.
Mersh came back from his Big Mac, right?
Dude, he freaked, man, and like blew the whole thing way the fuck up. And like they even stopped covering Owen over it, dude. But
yeah.
Yeah,
like that,
dude. Yeah, Mersh.
that was
fucking
more
blew
disturbing to me than the Alan Powell thing. Is the fact that Mersh was like, "Turn the fuck around." It's like, dude, he turned around in the video like 3 times.
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was
Fucking
freaking,
5 right turns or some shit.
He was freaking out on Alan as much as he was Owen
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
for some reason.
oh, and
He was acting. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
oh, and Mersh was freaking out on me for saying it's a joke. Mersh literally said something like, I don't care Whitfield, like it's a dumb prank. And no, it's not. Alan Powell, as I've said before, is the greatest troll that ever lived.
Well, I mean, it's
he's
funny.
the great-
Remember when
it's a-
that dude Billy the Fridge drove to, or Chris Hansen drove to Onision's house?
Yeah.
Like, Mersh said that there was no problem with that.
How is it different?
Right.
It's not different. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I
The only-
didn't want to make it about him, but like I knew it was a joke, and I think that everybody kind of flipped out when that coverage of it was done because it was framed in such a way like I don't know.
Well,
I think that
listen,
made it a bigger deal.
my instincts said it was, I that's why I was smiling so big when I was watching it, but I wanted it to be real because the idea of Alan Powell going and waiting for an interview is like, it's the stuff of internet legend. Like, please, I more wanted it to be real than believed it to be real. But of course, quickly figured out it was a joke. And I agree, it's the best troll that I've ever witnessed. And Mersh, which this is why I eternally hate him as well. Mr. Troll, any and everybody that is convenient for him, couldn't see the obvious joke, and instead threw the troll under the bus. The man who sends his audience after people like Efrog and other sad fucking people that make videos on the internet, not only that, but let's communicate directly with Owen. Oh, I love Owen. He makes me lots of money. Oh, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. So I have some questions for you, Milker Nation.
All right.
All right. So when did you start following Owen? Like, when did he get on your radar?
The Jordan Peterson, when he blew up at his daughter.
Okay.
I forget her name.
Michaela.
Okay, because I've noticed
Michaela.
you've taken clips from before then. So
Yeah.
how many hours would you say you spend on Owen a week?
Jeez, I don't know, man. That's hard. I don't know. Too many.
You
Too
have
many.
You have people that help you, your buddies and stuff. So
Mm.
it's
he
like
said that
a
earlier
TV
for sure.
type of thing. That's pretty nice. I want to know more about this AI thing that you got going.
The beast system.
If you can, we don't want to blow up any like top secret, stuff.
Yeah, this is secret gamma room wax.
Well, I
John,
find it fascinating that you can search so many different streams, because clipping, I mean, you nail streams that
Yeah.
I've forgotten about.
Same here. That's what I find so fascinating, man.
Mm.
yeah,
So
part of it is like, I do the tools and the fact I have someone helping me, like, definitely helps. It gives me an edge, but I do spend a lot of time on it. It's just like kind of it's kind of awkward, right? Like, you guys, I feel like you guys, you know what it's like to
It's yeah. Yeah, I do.
Oh, I fucking
John-
know, dude. I spent 2 years doing this shit.
Yeah, I know.
John-
I think what's so fascinating. Sorry to cut you off, but I think what's so fascinating to me, I've mentioned this already, but it's the quality and the depth at which you're able to go for these things. Because again, Johnny goes back even fucking further than me, and when you pull up shit that he's forgotten about, I mean, he's been my source for a lot of my clips. I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Shit that I've forgotten about, and I'm a fresher mind than him on some of this stuff. So it's pretty amazing, man. And either you're a wizard or your cohorts are wizards. Be careful.
we'll find out. The Johnny Arcade I heard recently, I think probably on the Whitfield Report, he said, "Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm a little obsessed." Someone accused him of it. Someone accused Johnny of being obsessed, and he was like, "Yeah, all right, I'm a little obsessed." And it was in a tone that I felt like was like he had spent all this time denying that he was obsessed, and was just finally like, "Fuck it, I'll embrace it, whatever."
Well,
I don't think obsession is a bad thing, though, man. Like, it can be, obviously, but
I mean, it's
the
hard to
degree to which
define, because I don't know if I define it as obsession so much. Like before, it's kind of become an obsession, and like, it's one reason I try to break away from it, because it's fucking unhealthy to watch that guy so much.
I agree
Even
with
when
that.
you know everything coming out of his mouth is bullshit, but it was always very personal for me. Like, it fucking personally came after me numerous times.
yeah.
And every time that he came after me, he was fucking lying and trying to bury me telling the truth about something. And
right.
so for me, it was very fucking personal. Like, my first run-in with him in the whole fight was him telling me he was going to fucking sue me. So I'm like, well, this is not going to fucking happen. And all over
That
that.
interview you did with Jesse Spots was big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. That one goes way back.
You guys sat down for 3
Yeah.
freaking plus hours, and he went through the whole
Yeah.
thing as someone who didn't know the story, and that was big because it's freaking hard to untangle
Je-
Yeah.
if you're.
It is. And dude, I give Jesse so much credit for that because nobody else, dude, was willing to sit down with me and go over it like that. And I don't have that reach like they do. You know? I
Yeah,
could
that's
get
really cool.
shout out
I get
to
my channels are gone.
yeah. Shout out to Jesse who is in the chat too, by the way. So,
Jesse Spots in the chat. What's up, Jesse?
and I mean
Davey Crocco too. Also, put a magnifying glass on it too.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
I've sat down with Jesse and Johnny multiple times, just and also from my perspective too, it wasn't. I mean, obviously Johnny got hit the hardest, but it was also anyone who was associated with Johnny
Yeah.
too. I mean,
The-
I had bears at the time, like trying to call my college and like get me and saying like you have a co-conspirator and a child, murder or something like stupid like that. So, just weird stuff like that. So,
Did you guys see that Base Texan streamed the other day?
No.
No.
I heard something.
a base Texan stream.
Tried to avoid him.
Yeah, I was watching it. He's talking about all this drama. He was acting crazy.
Yeah,
He seems like a wacky dude.
he's an angry fellow. I mean, quite honestly, the fact is, he came after us to protect Nimmer. So
Yep.
he all we did was talk shit to him. That's it. Nobody threatened him. Nobody nothing. But the way it is now, he goes his way, we all go our way, and that's that. Nobody wants anything to do with that guy, and I'm pretty sure he feels the same goddamn way.
He was like
Same
denying
guy.
everything. He was denying doing anything wrong, and I feel like I had specifically saw really foul shit that he had screenshots of shit that he had done on Twitter that made me be like, "Wow, I hate this guy."
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Didn't he? Oh, he made accounts with your real name and photo, right, Johnny Arcade?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Him and Cotton.
Yeah. Based
Yeah.
in Coddington. Yeah.
Looking back on it, what the kind of trolling that I've seen on the internet nowadays, like it's not as big a deal as it was back then. But like back then, it was my first
Yeah.
goddamn experience with that shit, and I was like, fucking pissed. I was
Yeah.
fucking pissed. And then I watched them all fucking. It was just a big to do, man. The whole stream about roasting Nimmer, and it was not that big of a fucking deal, and they made it a huge goddamn deal.
Oh,
So we made
porcelain.
it a big
Porcelain.
fucking deal.
Oh,
There's a
porcelain.
There's
We
a
can
pivotal
talk about
moment in that
porcelain.
porcelain doc. That was a big. That was
Yeah.
a big. Thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Well, before we do that,
That's porcelain.
I've been dying to ask you guys about something. Do you remember the Alan Powell video where he draws a cartoon of he has a drawing of Coddington and then he bribes Fox Day?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen this one?
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. That's the most I feel like underrated Owen video ever.
Yeah,
Oh, dude.
there's no Owen videos out there, dude, that don't have enough plays on them. People just don't.
Yeah. There's some serious genius shit out there.
Future Nobody's back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you guys see this history of him and Owen?
Oh yeah. Future Nobody is in my Discord, so
That was a good video.
yeah.
Owen turned on him because he changed his name to Future Nobody. He's like, "Oh, you want to take my name out of it? Go fuck yourself."
And
Yeah,
again,
dude. I was around for that too.
yep.
Go
And
ahead, dude. Sorry.
and again, I will just say, Future, you will always be a somebody to the Gamma Squad.
That's right.
So
That's right. Our train hopping, fucking degenerate square brain.
Nah, future nobody's
I
gay, bro.
Oh, really?
Nah.
He's a
well,
faggot.
Well, listen, gay does not preclude you from being cool. All right, especially on the internet.
I have the picture of him behind the dumpster, so he can
Oh
deny it all
shit!
he wants. But
You're telling me he's a
I'll-
sodomite?
yep.
A dumpster pumper.
Sam Whitfield, you didn't tell me there'd be sodomites in the chat.
well, we're all sodomites and we're all Jews too. Apparently,
You've been
Sada
drinking your
juice.
turpentine, Sam.
no, but I recently got accused by the Bears of taking shekels from Ben Shapiro, which, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I had that type of
I was gonna
money.
say, dude, if Ben Shapiro offered you money, you should probably take it.
Yeah, if Ben were to offer
Unless,
me money and sponsors, I mean, hell, I'll take a sponsorship from Bolin Brand Sheets for the Whitfield Report. You kidding me?
so long as they don't make you say something like, some other country is our greatest ally or something.
Yeah,
Along, as long as they don't make you say something you don't believe, that's fine.
right. Well, if I were at the Daily Wire, I'd be pranking him just like Andrew Breitbart used to do. So, but
Those fucking swords in your wheels would sure play a prank on his goddamn shins. Oh, well, actually, it'd probably be his thighs because he's like 3 feet tall, right?
No.
He's 2.5 Rogans or something, right?
no,
Milker, correct me.
no, I'm saving those for when I meet Owen. So,
Oh, okay. Well,
so
you used them on me the first time we met, man. I'll never forget. That's why we're still friends. Because
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared of what you'll do to me if I say we're not friends.
yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought you were
Just-
I thought you were a bear. So
right? No, it's cool. I'm down. I'm game. So, Johnny.
Yes. Did you just say you were gay?
No, I don't think so. Did I say that? I don't think I meant to say that. If I did say that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just.
I know, man. I'm baked as fuck. I was gonna say something, and I don't remember what it was now.
I don't know. Maybe you're gonna try to hit on me or something. How's the
Hey,
lockdown going?
Oh man,
You want to go on a lockdown date?
I feel like I'm pretty close to the desert right now for some reason. I've just been wandering that direction.
So let me ask
Maybe.
all of you. What's the furthest back in the Owen lore that you've gone? Like, have you
Ooh.
gone back pre-election?
yeah.
Yeah, the Why Didn't They Laugh podcast
Mm-hmm.
back when Owen was sexually attracted to Hillary. Yeah. I remember. I haven't. You know what? I haven't dove as deep into that era as I did into the era that, like, from where I started, because that was just such intimate knowledge. I'd watched so much of it. But yeah, go ahead, Milker. How far back have you gone, man?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I watched Why Didn't They Laugh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess some random videos before then. Here and
So
there.
I don't know what the point of the question was, but I was assuming that it meant, like, did you listen to him pre-Trump election versus post-Trump election?
Yeah, and Apex, you probably had the best video on that. You did the compilation that was like Owen's not really a conservative, right?
Oh, that wasn't my compilation. I just uploaded it.
Oh,
Johnny gets
Johnny Arcade again.
Johnny,
Yeah, and everything.
dude, the Secret King strikes again, man.
Owen got arcaded.
Yeah.
No,
I
that was a great video. That was a great video, and I was happy to upload it. 'Cause that was one of the more tumultuous times for the Jonestown/JA/Johnny Arcade, trichotomy of channels.
So the reason I ask how far you've gone back in the lore is because I want to know like how far you've seen him fall. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to see at what point you saw him and you're like, well, this guy's kind of normal, and
Yeah.
then
Oh,
it all fucking went south from there.
dude, it's surreal to go back and watch those early ones, and then he talks to the audience completely different. He's like happy, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, hey, it's good to see you." Someone trolls him. He's all easygoing about it. He's like, "That guy doesn't know what he's talking about, man." And
when
now,
yeah, that's when I found. That's basically like I was mentioning earlier. That's when I found Owen. He would do morning streams, sit in front of his fucking piano with his glasses on and a big cup of coffee, with a big window behind him, and he was like, he was a normal fucking dude. Like there would be trolls in the chat, but it wasn't until those goddamn fucking gummies, which again I remember him opening, and I was there the stream when he was streaming at night, doxing people like a fucking lunatic because he was afraid to admit that his fucking opener and best friend and his token little black, N-word pass, for the sake of Sam's stream, for God's sake, he'd be a liar. You know what I mean? And
You can say Nimmer, by the way. I was just making a joke.
oh,
Because
oh shit.
I do feel bad for the guy. You are that black and your last name is Nimmer. It's awfully close to the other expletive.
Oh my god, dude.
So I know Milker Nation didn't like start going in on him till the Michaela Peterson thing. But like, when did you start watching him? Or did you watch him at all?
it started there. I watched that stream all the way through. Where he talked about Jordan Peterson, and then I started. If it wasn't like right then, it was very shortly after. I started trying to look into. I started searching his name on YouTube, and that's when your guys' I would see his videos, and I didn't want to see that. I wanted to see the people criticizing him. So that's when I found your guys' videos.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit. By that point, Johnny Arcade, his library had all been privated, but he was producing. Sorry, I'm talking about him like he's not on the call. Johnny, your library was on the.
Right, that was your second.
You had hidden it, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been your second channel. Right, go ahead. Sorry.
I think I remember seeing something like he had some problem with being flagged or whatever, but he's producing videos and then it would like make them private. I feel like shortly after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then there was other channels that were mirroring Johnny Arcade videos. So I don't know. I was able to watch a ton of them, and then I got into the subreddit. So I forget the question. Whoops.
After you made the first video, did you think you were gonna make a whole bunch more? Did you think it was like gonna be a thing?
What's that?
Did you think it was gonna be a thing to make more? Or did you just think you were gonna make a couple and?
Oh, when I like made my first Owen videos.
Yeah.
I started the channel with like the intention of I was following this new. So I started watching Owen, and then I didn't start to make the channel until he started beefing with Nick Fuentes, or he was talking shit about Nick Fuentes. They had like reignited the feud for a little bit. So this was way after they had their main beef. But so that's when I started making videos, when he started beefing with Nick Fuentes. So I started uploading clips of Nick and uploading clips of Owen.
Mm-hmm.
And then the more I watch, the more I'm like more interested in what Owen was doing. Because he's nuts. So
That was actually.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So the channel just kind of took that direction. I was going to do clips. I was into this new. I don't know. I'd never watched Nick. I'd never really watched Owen. There was this whole group. Nick had done all these internet blood sports debates and stuff, and I was watching a lot of that. And I was like, I need a place. I want a place to put some of these interesting clips that I'm watching. This whole new. I'm finding in this whole new genre of people, and then Owen kind of emerged from the pack as the craziest, most clippable LARPer. So you'll see early on in my channel there were clips of I've got Laura Loomer and Roosh and Nick, and then it just becomes all Owen and Vought because I got into that story.
Yeah,
See,
well,
that was actually another like popular question for me, as people that just assumed that I knew you even before I did, just like they did with Johnny Arcade before I had ever spoken to him. They actually assumed we were the same person. But is Milker Nation a Nick Fuentes thing? But as I guess we touched on prior to the show, that's more of an insult to Nick. So why would a Nick Fuentes fan make a channel called Milker Nation?
Yeah, I got the name from Owen. I just thought it would be funny to co-op it, especially he was saying it so much in the videos that I watched.
Right. Well, that's the same reason Apex Gamma was born. Almost a year prior, is because Gamma was the go-to enemy. Why not be the top enemy of the person that I want to make fun of? Just seemed to work out. I love Milker Nation. I think it's a great fucking name. it's so like whatever. It's almost inappropriate, but it's not, because what's a Milker Nation? What the fuck even is that? Who knows? Unless you know Owen Benjamin.
And can you milk an entire nation too? That's the.
Motherfucker, I got 2 hands.
Surely you can. Owen, that might be Owen's goal.
Someone left me a comment on a video I made earlier today that said Owen milks his chickens.
He milks his meat birds.
So have you gotten any like major attacks from bears for making videos?
No, I haven't really gotten anything. Just some shitty comments. The worst has been Semperfish, who just constantly
Semperfish. Yeah, dude, Semperfish hit me
Nick
too.
Fuentes stuff.
Dude,
Fish is so gay, bro.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. I feel like that's Coddington Bear.
I don't think so, dude. He lives in like northern Michigan, from what I've taken, or like Michigan or some shit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Wisconsin, but it's somewhere up there. And and he's a fish. And you know what? It really doesn't matter what Owen does. Owen could fucking boil and eat a baby, and he wouldn't care.
Yeah. Well, right. That sounds like something Coddington would do. And the fact that he's literally in every comment section of every anti-Owen video that I've ever watched. Maybe not everyone. I'd say 95% of them, though.
So, here's the thing. So, I get, okay, so that happened to you, so I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to watch Owen. I get that. The guy's entertaining because he's a fucking mess. It's like people used to watch Jerry Springer, right? So, it's basically the same goddamn thing. So I get that, but at what point, do these people realize that they're giving money to this and they're investing more of themselves than just into a show? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are making bad decisions and getting married and having kids based on fucking
Not Owen logic, Owen literal advice, like direct advice. Like he's been quoted as being like Jesus by some of his devout followers,
By-
as you're all well aware.
By school
Bro,
shooter bear.
he prayed the gay away, dude. That's pretty godlike.
By
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he's been compared to Jesus by the person I like to call school shooter bear. So
Nathan?
School shooter bear.
yeah. Well,
We'll call him school shooter bear. I like that.
I wasn't gonna say his name, but I mean, yeah.
Well, he's
So-
not a bear
Oh.
anymore. He quit. He gave it up, man. Cold turkey.
Has he been signed to fucking unauthorized publishing or whatever the fuck Vox's publishing company is?
Yeah, he's got his own publishing thing. He said he basically used the bears for what he needs them for, and now he's going to do his own. So, yeah. Isn't that lovely of him?
I'm
After all the
Good for
wreckage
him.
he left, man, all the people he turned. So funny to me. I really did. I really want to talk to him. I really want to I would like to understand him more.
Just have like a real conversation with him. Try to talk to him like
Yeah.
a normal person. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, just like this, dude. I just want to fucking talk to the kid, dude. I want to understand, like, because see, like, all these people who were bears and shit, he went after and stuff. I don't give a fuck about that, really, dude. Like, I really don't. That's not my thing. I wasn't invested in any of that, dude. So I just want to talk to the kid and understand, dude. As far as I'm concerned, Nathan was a good thing, dude, because he got so many fucking people to walk away. So
Yeah.
I think that he's
Right.
to chat with me. I really do. I think
Nate.
it would be interesting for
Well,
everybody.
well, shit. Now I have to admit, Nate, I'm just roasting you. If you want to come on, be my guest. So
No, he's busy playing Dungeons and Dragons on his
I
channel
say-
right now.
Let's make an official invite to Nathaniel Slattery to come on the
Oh,
Whitfield
bro.
Report and have a civil conversation
with
about
niggas
things and
Invited. He's been invited.
stuff. Oh.
So I have some more questions. So Milker Nation, when you saw the stuff with Nick Fuentes, and then you saw the stuff with Michaela Peterson, did you ever think there was going to be a point where he starts telling his audience that they should drink poison? Or, I mean, that hit you out of the blue, too?
To turpentine.
Yeah.
Yeah, gee, it just gets crazier and crazier. Like it just doesn't stop. That was after a long line of doing crazy shit, the swatting. Right, the turpentine came right after that, and he had a panic attack. Like you become
Fear doesn't bother me. I just have to go to the hospital because my heart beats real fast and I can't breathe real good.
So funny, dude. I had stopped making videos for a few weeks, and I watched that, and I'm like, I gotta make a video on this. This dude's having a fucking panic attack. I put out the panic attack video, and everybody's like, you're wrong, and fucking 10 hours later, he's like, I went to the doctor, and they told me I had a panic attack.
Yeah, dude, that's the beautiful thing, man. It's like it's been like a cyclical inspiration, weird corner of the internet over here where like Johnny's inspired me, and Alan inspired me, and both of them inspired you, and you've inspired me. You know what I mean? You've inspired Johnny. I'm sure you've inspired Alan.
you've
To some
inspired me.
degree. Inspired Sam, right? You know, the shit that you make.
God.
What's that?
I'm kidding. I don't believe in God. I think my
so kill it,
inspiration from
kill it for Jesus.
Yeah. I think my
So-
inspiration honestly comes mostly from Porcelain, because watching him do the doc, that was the first time I ever saw anybody really do a fucking hit video on Owen, and dude, we'd been wanting.
It was so
to do
good
one
too,
for a long
man.
time. We had so much fucking information, and we didn't know how to format it and put it together because, dude, we were all so in the middle of it, and it was just so much bullshit, dude. It's just so stupid, dude. So amazing to watch people you know, or you thought you knew, just fucking lie through their goddamn teeth for somebody that you know is a piece of shit, that you know is gonna fuck somebody's career up, Like, but I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling. I have more questions. So, have you thought about doing any collaborations with other?
Um, I don't know. I don't know how. Like, I don't really. I don't
Like,
know how that would manifest. I guess. What's that?
It hasn't really crossed your mind at this point, right?
Well, I've had you know, I guess ideas, but I don't really know. I don't know how I would go about. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Just ideas.
There-
Nothing.
usually you just ask,
there's the first
Well,
step. So here's another basic question. What do you think about the bitch over the past, like, what has it been, like a year? Like, you see how they are, and then it's like something has to personally affect to make them. Like, what do you think it is that keeps them there until they're personally offended? Community? I mean, they're giving him.
sorry, I missed what you said. I don't know if it's me or.
I think John.
So, like, what do you think it is that keeps people around? Like, you've watched the Bears walk on Owen. It's always for, like, a personal spite. It's never for, like, I just think I fucking don't believe. I don't agree with it. Like, what do you think it is that keeps them around? Like, what's the motivation?
That's a good question. That's something that I thought of. It's hard not to think about. What's that?
No. I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was just saying we actually kind of touched on this earlier. I don't know if it was pre-stream, but like you said, you were into Q, or you dealt with Q rather, up to a year prior to ever even finding Owen. So I think if I could put a finer point on the question, like, what do you think it is about the internet and people on the internet, and specifically about Owen, that people attach themselves to him against their senses? And like, I mean, you could coincide things like Q, people's attachment to that, because I think it's similar. Internet celebrities and people's attachments to them. I mean, you could.
No. Yeah, no, it's
and-
true. There is
yeah, go ahead.
something about online, radicalizing people that I think that's a real thing, and not that it's like how mainstream portrays it, but I think online radicalization is a real thing. I think it's and I think it's a spectrum. I think we think radicalization, we think school shooter bear, but I think it can take milder forms too, and I think you get
I feel like I'm a victim of it to some degree, which is why I feel so offended, or why I have felt so offended.
I was watching.
Go ahead.
I was watching videos recently that were like, talking about the YouTube algorithm, how it's designed, to above all keep you on the site, keep you on the website as long as possible. So when you watch a video, YouTube is incentivized to show you a version, maybe a more extreme version, or
Yeah, I get what you're saying, for sure.
they're incentivized to show you a more extreme version of what you're watching, because it's it's going to spike your, I don't know, dopamine or whatever it is, and get you addicted, and that's how they get you going down the rabbit hole. We know that these tech companies all did this on purpose. They do that kind of shit, right? They
Oh yeah.
tap into they hack our dopamine. So there's that aspect of it, and then there's online filter bubbles where people get into these echo chambers, and it starts to shape their whole world. And I don't know, people act crazy in that kind of situation, and Owen Benjamin is a guy who's a familiar face. A lot of people, he probably, like Q attracts a lot of boomers, a lot of people just getting into, I don't know, alternative viewpoint, into internet research. They're attracting,
Right.
I feel like I feel like Owen Benjamin maybe attracts the same kind of person, someone more naive to what goes on in the internet, like a lot of people who are new to live streaming and chatting and that kind of stuff.
That's pretty astute, actually, man. Because I actually remembered, I recognized Owen from his shitty comedy. Because I used to watch Comedy Central stand-up specials religiously, and I rarely left, but I watched them all the time. And I remembered seeing the dude when his YouTube streams started being recommended to me every fucking day. And back then, I was I used to watch the Kill Stream and shit. And I mean, I feel like I've said this before too publicly, and I think it's pretty obvious that Owen learned a lot from Steven Crowder in what he does now. He took what Steven Crowder does currently to the furthest end that he could. I feel like mostly because he didn't have a choice, or he felt like he didn't have a choice. He started sliding down that fucking slope, and he didn't know how to stop himself, so he just went full, flat Earth and no moon and everything else.
Yeah, and plus
But
Crowder bedazzled him.
oh my god, and
Guys.
assless chaps, for God's sake,
Crowder bedazzled me. So
put me in assless chaps in a sketch that I wrote for a character that I wrote.
Here's my, and is because, so I think with Owen that he uses mind control tactics. I think he uses group mind control, cult like shit to really draw his audience in. And so I kind of wonder if everybody sees that sets him apart from other people, or if you guys see that in other creators, because it seems to me like his audience is drawn in by this. Because when you talk to these people, they're all like, "Oh, it's family, and kids, and it's goats," and it's like we're not watching the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
I actually
Go ahead, Sam.
I was actually going to say, to your point, Johnny, and I actually left a comment on one of Milker's 30-minute compilations the other day, and I think actually you might have pinned this as the comment, Milker, but I actually said, Owen talks like more pornographic shit than I've seen on Pornhub in quite a while. So, and that I said that to be partially be funny, but it's true. I mean, all he talks about is like porn now, and and like butts, and cum, and that's all Owen talks about now. So
Yeah, I feel like he's lost his plot.
You
But I
realize
do. Go ahead, Johnny.
he's a gay man living a straight world.
Yeah, and
There's no
pretending to live a straight man's life.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt about it anymore. And he's overcome his homosexuality. I mean, when people speak, they speak from experiences in life. You can't talk about something that doesn't harbor itself as knowledge in your brain, right? So it's hard to even think of an example, because I wouldn't think of something that's not a part of what I've experienced. But everything that he says, and in fact, you can go back, and Milker Nation might be able to find this with his AI. But back when I started watching, Owen was saying, he comes on stream and he learns new things every day, and he comes on stream and he tells his audience about them. So, I mean, if you follow that, and it works with his conspiracy, why wouldn't it be that way when he started talking men not being, and because that didn't. throughout his whole career. He made fucking gay. So, I mean, the dude is literally telling people that it's okay to do gay shit and ruin what dude. I had sex with a guy once. It didn't work out because blah 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 blah. And then like a guy who, like one time he had sex with a guy. It doesn't make him gay, right? Like,
Right.
then you pray. Then
Now he's gay forever? That's fucked up. Dude, that clip is so good.
Alan made a comment in the chat like that.
I'm not the gay one.
No, Alan made a great comment in the chat just a few seconds ago. How can Owen not be gay? He has a subscription to Home and Garden magazine.
But to the point though of what I actually think, like with a broader scope, that what Owen does is really not that different from what a lot of people. I mean, you could look at the H3H3 Keemstar drama, where fucking H3H3 has managed to remove several sponsors from Keemstar. Keemstar's fans has been able to remove sponsors from H3H3 because of the fan, dichotomy and the, standing by their fucking creator.
So then let me ask you maybe more of a direct. Do you think that Owen actively knows that he's doing wizardry on his fans, or do you think he's just that saying that he doesn't see it?
I go back and forth on it, to be honest, myself.
Yeah, to answer honestly, I don't know. I really do think that he knows a lot of times, but the way he talks and like when I watch him talk, and the things he says, I'm like, there's no way that he's self-aware enough to realize what he's actually saying.
The way I see it, the analogy that I've kind of come up to explain to people who aren't regular Owen viewers, I've explained that Owen is a lot like Eric Cartman from South Park, and one of my favorite episodes of South Park is when Eric pretends to have Tourette's syndrome so that he can say whatever he wants, and then he fakes it for so long that he ends up actually getting Tourette's, and he actually ends up believing that he has like
me and my cousin touch wieners.
And
me and my cousin touch weed. Dude, that's a great fucking episode.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what Owen's doing now too. Is like Owen may have initially been scamming people, but he's been doing it for so long that he now buys his own BS.
Dude, that's a good hypothesis, man. I mean, it's sound, because you're right. He dove so deep, so hard, and so fast, into flat Earth, and just everything, as hard as he could into everything that he believed, or pretended to believe. Like his ego and the type of person that he is not going to allow him to
distracting from his own reality.
Sorry, what was that?
Do you think that him delving into all these conspiracy theories, like the Jews and the moon, because I saw that as like him escaping from his own reality of the whole Nimmer situation and all of his
absolutely
fans way.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah, you're spot on with that, dude. In my estimation as well, that
so
he's
in 5 years, dude. When the fans are gone, or things even off, is he gonna have a moment where he goes, "Fuck, man, what the fuck, dude? I don't believe in any of this shit."
Maybe. It's kind of hard to believe.
No, maybe when all the fans are gone, and you know what? He may say that now. That's something that I'm not entirely convinced he doesn't do. He may tell Amy that.
Is it all a fucking act? Like, is it all a fucking act?
Well,
yeah, right.
I get the whole Nimmer thing wasn't a fucking act.
No.
I watched the lies unfold. watch the Jew thing, but like taking on, he's described the process himself and said that other people do it. He's in fact said that Joe Rogan does it. Go from community to community, pulling people out of it. Crazy conspiracy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So, is he actively doing that? I watched him right around the election go sit at a fucking table at some conference or something called the Night for Freedom with Cernovich and Molly and who else? Gavin. The four of them, dude, hosted this thing. That's like the fucking super grifter club. So he might be kicked out of Hollywood, right? He might be kicked out of Hollywood, but have we seen Cernovich turn on Owen? No. We put him in a documentary. Have we really seen Gavin turn on Owen? No. They still talk.
Not publicly.
We haven't. And Vox Day, he's buddies with them. He's now basically Owen's fucking handler. I mean, he's not actively like.
I mean, even Joe Rogan even publicly defended Owen with when he had that little Rob Dyrdek lookalike, whatever her name was, Eliza something or other. You know what I mean? Show the Joe Rogan.
Oh, Eliza Schlesinger?
Yeah, that's the one.
Joe got him unbanned from the comedy clubs, dude. Joe gave him back his fucking shit after that whole trans kid meltdown. And then Joe had him on the show times in like a few months. And so, I mean, Joe put his neck out there for and was like, don't ban it. And Owen went fucking off the rails. And Joe's like, hey, man, you know, I kind of stuck my fucking neck out there for you. Maybe you ought to run your fucking tweets so you don't make
right.
sticking up for.
Well, that reminds me. Do you guys, speaking of Rogan, do you guys remember the first time he went off on Rogan like for months on end, and then Rogan actually called him and was like, "Dude, what the fuck? Why are you talking shit about me?" And then Owen actually had to publicly apologize to Rogan.
I posted that. That's somewhere on my channel. Because it was like a year and a half later. He was saying he was just talking some shit about never apologizing to Joe Rogan or something like that. And then I posted some very softly spoken apology to Joe Rogan. I was mistaken. I acted like a woman, etc., etc. Joe Rogan is great. Milker, how do you oh fuck, I lost my I had a question for Milker and I lost it. I guess I don't know, what do you how do you feel about Spotify?
The
user interface is decent. I mean,
no, I actually haven't checked it out yet, but I lost my question, and I'm so fucking baked right now. And I was walking through the house, trying not to spill my beer. So
I want to know if you think Owen is smart or crazy, or both.
That's like the eternal question, right? Like, of whatever current insanity I'm watching, how much of this is him being like knowingly deceitful? How much of it is he's that dumb? How much of it is he's that messed up by his mom? I feel like those are the factors I'm always weighing in, like what I'm watching. Like, is it how much of this is an intentional grift?
Yeah.
And
do you have a solid like? Do you think it's one more than the other? Because I
oh my god,
am not.
Like Sam said, it he goes back and forth. To me, it's just like fluctuating. It's a fluid situation.
Yeah,
But so
and-
all we can do is try to glean clues, right, from things he does. So something happened. Something I saw recently. I feel like maybe has me thinking of things in a different way. So Alan Powell uploaded another, I feel like, underrated video because it's not that interesting. Like the it's not like of all the freaking sensational shit that Owen does. This is something you could easily like skip and all that. So it was just a bridge that Owen had in his backyard and some water. Like there's a creek underneath the little bridge. I mean, it's like when I say bridge, I mean like 4 feet long or something. Like it's just a tiny little thing to go over a tiny little creek. Whenever it rains and there's water runoff or whatever, so some water starts running under this bridge because it rained, and Owen goes out and films it with his camera, and he says, "Hey, look, everyone! It's almost like I built like he had no idea water would ever run there. Like he built the bridge." I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. He literally said this stuff. He said, "It's almost like I built a bridge and then water showed up." Like, and then so that's nutty enough. And the title of the video, Alan's video, was like, "Is Owen Benjamin's grift making money off of stupid people?" Something like that. And it was a fair question, given the content.
answer is yes.
I mean,
Predominantly yes.
It's like the perfect question to ask, right? Like when you think about it, what he's doing with that. But anyway, if that wasn't bad enough, I'm watching an old Owen stream the other day, and he shows that bridge, except he doesn't call it a bridge, he calls it a wooden thing. And then he says verbatim, "Yeah, I built that for when the water starts flowing underneath." This is a year before he pretended. So now I'm thinking this guy's just a shameless. He'll just and do it. He'll lie and just do it bold faced, and you'll never know. Like to a unique degree. When Johnny says he's using
AI.
Sorry, go ahead. AI.
Yeah, your AI. There was a stream a long time ago where he was sitting in his New York house, and he's talking about how he used to be a pathological liar, and he would lie about everything, just silly shit like taking out the garbage, and he actively had to make sure that he stopped doing that when he got married.
When he got married, that was the lie.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember a clip like that, but he was talking about with his friend about how they used to lie all the time. I feel like it was the same stream or podcast that
where you clipped that together out of the dream sequence, and he was that's one of my
fucking
favorite
immaculate. Dude, that is fucking. That's what I'm saying.
Nifty.
Oh shit, man.
Well, what I've noticed too is unless these are clips of old streams, like I've noticed that Owen has started doubling down on his 147 IQ thing again ever since Mommy has come to visit.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I really do think that his mom is a big factor in his lunacy. That's what leads me to lean towards he's not as smart as he thinks he is, or he seems to be. He's lucky. I mean,
so I mean, I have a clip of him saying that they wanted to put him in the short bus class.
Yeah.
He got kicked out of school because he wouldn't draw outlines. He used to swim on the fucking ground when he would get yelled at. And he wouldn't outline and put icing on cakes.
And then what was interesting was his mom would always like change the subject of like, but how is he doing, otherwise too.
I mean, so here's right. We all went to school, right?
Yeah.
So imagine the kid, right? That the teachers literally tell him you're a fucking cancer and you need to be removed. Like, okay. So imagine that's your kid, right? So, or that's a kid. Now, whose fucking parent with a kid like that talks like Owen's mother? Like, oh, they were just so mean to you. Like, what the fuck is that shit like? She's
Listen,
not an ounce of her is like, well, you kind of fucked up a lot. Like, talk to my
her
parents, dude. They'd
generation.
be like, what an asshole.
Yeah, listen, actually, my mom is kind of the same way. She's a fucking
Oh,
lunatic. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that she's as bad as Owen's mom, but I'm also not as bad as Owen. Uh,
did
I
she
feel like,
ever show up to her bank account and have like maybe $250,000 missing?
oh no, my dad left long before that, so
Va-
he was
Va-
long gone.
Vox's chair brings up another good Owen Mom's quote.
Was it? Wait. Was it squeak squeak? Because if it's not, I don't want to hear it.
No,
I'm just kidding.
it's
I'm just kidding.
it's yes, you had big testicles
Oh God.
as a baby. I mean that's just
Oh no, I forgot about that.
I mean that's just creepy.
I mean, why hasn't anybody cut that in with fucking ACDC?
There's another idea for another Milker Nation video.
That could be the
Man,
next. That could be the next mix.
I can't even imagine the docket on Milker Nation's fucking computer or to-do list. I do want to say though, not to sound like a fanboy again, but I'm grateful that you finally came on, man. It's nice to chat with you.
Oh yeah, likewise.
Do you have any questions for us anymore regarding Owen Milker?
Or anything for that matter.
Yeah, or anything.
Okay, so about the gummy worms, the gummy dicks worms, dicks, the gummy dicks. They So the story went. He opened these on stream, right? And then 2 days later, Amy went into labor. Owen left for the hospital and left Nimmer and Artling.
Yep.
And
Yep.
at his house, Nimmer and Artling were hungry. The homesteader had no food in his house. So they were resorted to eating stale gummy dicks.
Yep.
It came in the mail from a stranger. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Novelty poison gummy dicks.
Yep.
So they ate them 2 days later, right? After he opened them on stream.
Yeah, and let me ask you, you know what the date around that was, like when the kid was born? Like just summertime, right?
Charlie, June?
So
June.
summertime.
Mid-June, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because he didn't accuse anybody of anything till December.
Mhm.
December.
That's when I was watching.
So December he gets that message where they say noxious contaminants.
I mean, I don't know if he got the message in December or June or fucking July or August.
Yeah, or if he even got the fucking
That's what's-
message.
I stopped watching him before he moved to Washington.
What happened in December?
In December, he went to Phoenix show, I think, and freaked out. That's when he did the whole car video where he's like, I got a kayak and I'm going to go kayak.
What? Dude, I've heard
Yeah.
lore of this Phoenix
That-
show, but
Isn't that
where's the footage?
Porcelain used part of that, didn't he?
I don't know.
Or no?
What was the
All right.
kayak?
The
Who was he threatening with the
kayak
kayak?
thing, that was him doing a video. He's like, I've been getting all kinds of threats lately and shit. And like, I think what it was ROTC started covering him and Nightwave was going after him and shit and trolling him. And they were doing it for the Porcelain documentary. And Owen thought that they were us. So he started like freaking out thinking we were coming after him again, trying to fuck with him. And like he just starts putting all this bullshit together because you know how the bears are, dude. Like they talk and they just come up with outlandish bullshit, you know?
Well,
And then
Well, quote unquote, us being the DZ,
Until
right?
shut. Yeah, there was a faction of the Bears that was like they knew like we didn't like Nimmer, you know. So as soon as Chuck came out with that FOIA, they were shitting themselves. And so I think that's what kind of drove him nuts. He started linking a bunch of shit, connecting a bunch of separate things that weren't connected, and he just freaked out.
Well, in December, what I can tell you as a viewer who didn't participate in chat but would watch the chat, watch somebody, and I don't remember who, post some names, or at least one name, suggesting that these poison gummies came from these specific individuals from the original Bears, who at this point were the DZ, I believe. It's, you know, trying to fucking expose Nimmer for the liar that he was and is. And Owen, again, he was like, oh yeah, you know, I don't know if, I can't remember if it was the first and last name of either one of you, but I specifically remember Owen reading out, oh yeah, it was so-and-so and so-and-so. And as a viewer, I'm like, who the fuck would do something like that? And I, you know, consider myself incredibly naive at the time, because I just didn't recognize what it was. I saw him open the gummies, and I made the connection between the two. I'm like, oh, holy shit, those were poison? How does he know that? The police are involved? He says the police are involved. Why wouldn't I fucking believe him? I don't have any reason to not believe him.
Right.
At least at that point I didn't, you know?
Yeah.
So...
like for
but
me,
yeah,
the reading of the name, it was when he spelled it 3 times.
Yeah.
Slow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the chat
That was
going,
exactly.
I'm like, dude, he just. That's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
But hey, you know what?
No, but Milker, that was. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to derail.
Past, right?
I didn't mean to derail it, because Milker did ask, like, what specifically what happened in December, and I wanted to interject and give my perspective as someone who wasn't on that side of it, but was there during that time.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all.
see, because I don't know what the build up to it was, honestly. Like, I stopped watching him completely, and I don't know what happened for 6 months. I never watched the Jordan Peterson stuff. I never watched the Rogan. Like, I didn't see any of that fallout. So it was like one of the guys from DZ got in touch with me. He's like, dude, you gotta watch this fucking. And it wasn't the one where he named me. It was the one where he's going over the Albuquerque stuff, and he starts talking about like people trying to poison people, and Base Texans got all the screenshots, and I'm like, fuck, dude, like, we know that that's us, and it's like I fucking tried to tell the truth in that group. It got squashed. So this was a little disturbing. So that brought my attention a couple days before Christmas, maybe a couple weeks. And then, like, I think it was Christmas Eve, he fucking spelled the names. And I tell you, the thing is, nobody knows who sent the goddamn gummies. Nobody.
or who sent him the letter, the supposed letter, or rather email.
Yeah.
Well,
So I mean,
I'll tell you
it's
this.
wild, dude.
I'll tell you this regarding the gummies. I've gotten emails from various people claiming to be the ones that sent the gummies, but they're all from, and I've showed them to Johnny. The problem is it's kind of like, you know, with people like, you know, who commit crimes and then want to brag about it. There's no substantial evidence. Like, you know, no one's.
That's like fucking people admitting to murders they didn't commit.
Right.
You know, serial killer type shit.
Right. Exactly. So.
When people refer to the letter that the letter that stated Owen was going to be poisoned, when people say that, what they really mean is that Twitter DM or whatever that where there's that screenshot and the person says, I have been,
led to believe. It's just so
Yeah.
fucking ambiguous, dude.
they
Go
said
ahead. Sorry.
they are planning on sending you items with noxious contaminants on them. It's written funny, and Owen even admitted at the Flat Earth conference that he now thinks that letter, I'm calling it a letter, it was a DM. That DM with the noxious contaminants DM was the troll, right?
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
so,
that's if
and so that's
But he
that's why-
but
that's
he
why
also
decided to
refused.
apologize. That's why he decided to apologize. To
But he
himself.
refuses. He refuses to apologize to the people that he fucking harmed, and he said that at the Flat Earth conference too.
Well,
He's
why
like,
would
so
why
that-
would he apologize to Johnny Arcade? He's a terrible, evil, horrible man.
Yeah, right. Oh,
right?
God forbid he tries to warn Owen that he's endorsing a fucking liar. Jesus Christ.
And here's the funny thing, though, dude. Like, I didn't even try to warn Owen. I had my own beef with Nimmer. Like, I was going back and forth with Nimmer. I was not involving Owen. In fact, I told everybody around me, this has nothing to do with Owen. Stop fucking involving Owen. It's got nothing to do with Owen. And then one comment I left on Nimmer's video, and that was it. Owen was all a part of it then. So, yeah.
All right, one thing that I think maybe you guys were so immersed in it that you didn't maybe it doesn't sink in the same way it does as someone from the outside. Like the loyalty Owen has for Nimmer.
Oh, yeah.
It's completely irrational. It doesn't make sense the way Owen has acted all the footage and shit we've seen of him.
No doubt.
His loyalty to Nimmer is such an anomaly. Think about how easily he turns on people.
Well,
Like what was that guy? Eric.
What
Eric.
do you have to say about that?
Eric Weinstein called him the working man's genius, and he took umbrage with that and went after Eric Weinstein for that.
well,
Because he
I
called him the
think-
working man's genius, not just everybody's genius.
Right,
that's just
not
an
just
idea
a
of how-
genius.
That's the kind of idea this hairpin trigger this guy has. He'll go off. He'll turn on anyone for any reason. With Nimmer, he's sticking by him to that degree, and so I wonder. Like, I feel like you guys haven't maybe questioned that enough because maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm off on the wrong trail here. But
I know.
I'm looking at things and I'm seeing Owen was in Austin when his kid was being born. Gets in a bar. A bouncer attacks him for no reason. 5'0" Nimmer is the one that helps him in this fight somehow. His wedding ring goes flying off. He misses the birth of his son, and from that moment, so he goes back home. He flies home, and he shows up back home having missed the birth of his son without his wedding ring, and the only witness to what went on, he gave tens of thousands of dollars to, and he had this crazy, irrational loyalty to. What did he say anything? What did he say bad about Nimmer even after he found out that he scammed him out of thousands of dollars, and after he found out he made a fool of him? So that's pretty fishy, considering Owen's other behavior.
Oh, yeah.
You guys have thought about this?
We have
Johnny
talked.
Arcade.
I follow you. I always said, dude, like, Delev wasn't the one that he was fucking. It was Nimmer.
Dude, I feel like we've talked about this in depth. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Nimmer was the one he was fucking, not Delev. And if not, they had a whole, lie going on. Because the fact of the matter is when you talk to the people in the DZ, they'll all tell you they were all there before Nimmer, and Nimmer did not fucking exist in Owen's world. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's brought in out of nowhere, and suddenly he's an opener and he's forced upon everybody, and everybody's asked to donate, and then they wanted us to do fucking these gay fucking telethon thing stream for try to get money for him. I'm like, no, none of this shit. Nobody thought he was funny. Everybody thought he was a fucking asshole. He came on the stream. He got fucking roasted to shit. And then, no matter what, dude, Delev and Owen would not fucking turn on him. Would fucking not, dude. No matter what he did, he fucked with women at shows. He insulted the fucking Bears. He insulted Owen's fans. He fucking lied. We can go through a lot of things. And I don't know if Owen knew, like, okay, this guy's down to be my black opener so I can get away with the N-word, or if it was more. But here's what I do know is Nimmer fucked a tranny.
What? You know that?
It's
Well, I mean,
it's
his
in
best
Parsons'
friend-
documentary.
It is. I didn't know
Yes.
that.
Yeah, Chuck has a video about it. I think it's called
Wait.
Nimmer Tranny.
Oh.
But
So the
So-
money that Nimmer got was from a GoFundMe. It wasn't. Owen always talks about it as if it was out of his pocket.
Oh no, yeah,
so
he gave Nimmer money.
yeah,
Okay.
so here's the thing. Owen pays a lot of people around him, like his friends. He pays them; they're paid. So Cotton is paid, Bunny is paid, Nimmer was paid. All these people fucking paid. He can't make, or if he's not paying you, you don't matter to him. So my thought was he brought Nimmer on so that he could get away with the whole fucking N-word song, and then because he was having trouble in Saranac Lake and all that shit. So that gave him cushion for that, and he could also like focus more attention on his own shit, like, and have Nimmer deal with the Bears, because as soon as fucking Nimmer came in, Nimmer rose up and like everybody wanted to be friends with fucking, right? He was forced into this group, and he just didn't fit. He didn't belong. He's super liberal, super just not funny, and he's just a douche. So he's opening for Owen. Owen's doing a special for him. So my thought was that Owen had invested so much into him and to try to clear his career out a little bit, and because things were going fine for them until Chuck came out with that FOIA, man. They were doing Crowder. Shit was going okay, I guess.
Well, and another thing too, it's interesting, Johnny, that you bring up the fact that Nimmer was a liberal, because at that point I had arguments with people who were saying, "Oh, Nimmer's a black conservative," and I was like, "I'm like, no, he's not," and they would be like, "Well, yeah, he is. He's with Owen," and I'm like, "No, I've talked to Nimmer."
Didn't listen to. Yeah, they clearly didn't listen to Nimmer say that he's a liberal.
No,
Yeah.
no. I mean,
He
but it just goes.
Hillary.
It just goes to show that they were in such denial that, like, even when I would try and point out to them publicly that Nimmer was a liberal and show them evidence, they were just in denial. So about it.
Yeah. Well, so here's my thing, right? So he invested this money into Nimmer. Nimmer was his own, and all the people around Owen had essentially fucking done all this nasty shit to a bunch of to try to hide Nimmer shit and try to shut us the fuck up. Like, Owen was just so deeply invested, and Nimmer was going on the road with him, so he knew all the shit. He knew all the shit. He was making, and Owen was making money. And I don't know. I agree with you, though. There was way too much connection there. Like, you could not open Owen's eyes to that guy. Hundreds of fucking people tried to. Even Owen's close friends. and they got shut out by Coddington and Belev. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Even by Owen's own words, right? I think at least you used to have a clip on one of your channels,
well,
him
when you look,
saying,
they
hundreds
made
of
it
my
members
friends used to
only.
tell me,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, dude. He Coddington and Belev closed the chat to keep the Nimmer shit out. That's why the members only aim to be a thing.
I think you cut out there, Johnny. Uh,
dead
okay.
air.
Yeah, yeah,
Dog, me.
okay, yeah, no problem. We're back.
You,
He gets uppity, dude, when I pay more attention to the phone than him.
Oh, Wally, how's the old boy doing?
Oh, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. He dug a big old
Big as
hole. This
fuck.
day.
I would say
Great, great
big as
day.
fuck now, huh?
Yeah, dude, I think he's like, I haven't weighed him in a while, but he's probably about 90 pounds.
Whew.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
average
good
size.
size boy. Good size boy. Yep.
Pretty big. He pretty much does what the fuck he wants.
I
Whatever.
I'm waiting for Owen to spiral about Rogan getting the Spotify deal. I predict that that's going to be Owen's next one of Owen's next big spirals.
He already did a
Or
couple of days ago, man.
I was gonna
Really?
say, or is he
did
gonna
a whole.
just gonna jump over to Spotify?
Owen can't.
He did about. He outlined how like Rogan would have to frame himself as California because of their journey, and how now that he has $100 million, like he can't even go to the comedy store anymore because people literally kill him because the economy is so bad. It's like, dude, you're fucking insane, bro. Like, he thinks Rogan's gonna go to the comedy store, get murdered because he's now a fucking millionaire. What a fucking retard.
That sounds about right.
But you know, that's the kind of rhetoric, dude, that like is dangerous, man. I mean, that's I don't know.
I agree.
He knows that he's putting that idea in his fans' head. He knows that.
Oh yeah, just like he knew with that one bear. In fact, you and I, one of the old streams that you and I did, Johnny, where you came on and we covered that one bear who was sending like death threats to Ben Shapiro. Like that's an actual thing.
Oh yeah, dude. Shapiro straight up has fucking security looking at shit constantly. I'm sure because of Owen's bullshit. Well, maybe not now, but he did back in the day.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Owen, in fact, recently he was talking about Shapiro, and he's like, I don't even care about Shapiro anymore. He's like, yeah, there was that time back when I did threaten him on stream. It's like, no shit, dude. You were for months.
Yeah, and
So
see like that's the other thing that's dangerous about Owen though is like he'll threaten people in the worst of ways and then he'll blow it off like nothing happened a few months later. Like I'm pretty
yeah, and then say vile shit to fucking try to radicalize people against you. Like literally, listen to him talk about Rogan sometimes, dude. He'll talk about people killing Rogan. All like he fantasizes about the shit, but what it really is when you look at him and his knowledge of wizardry and how he's explained it in many, what you're doing is you're bringing an idea into existence when you speak something. So you might not be thinking about this or that or the other thing, Sam, or this whole
yeah.
audience may not be. But if pancakes all of a sudden, now you're all thinking about right?
Yeah. Well, pancakes
that's
are tasty.
yeah. I mean, they're delicious, but what I'm saying is,
Now I'm starving.
it's bringing things into people's mind that wasn't there. And when
I'm
Owen, he knows, that's rhetoric. You know,
I'm literally eating
so
pizza.
Yeah.
people,
Just another P word.
to me, that's dangerous. And it's not dangerous when a normal average dipshit does it, but when somebody knowingly says they're a fucking wizard and they have the power to control the world with their rhetoric, it's a bit concerning.
Well, the thing of it is, and I've always said this, is you take away Owen's fame, and he's just a crazy guy streaming in his basement.
See, what you have to understand is
Oh, so now Teddy's lecturing me on stuff. That is one thing I want to ask Milker Nation about. What do you think of Teddy Spaghetti, Milker Nation? I know that you're the Owen guy, but you surely you have an opinion on Teddy.
he's muted.
Yeah.
Vox
There he
Vox
is.
is Vox is a lol cow too, in his own right. He's not as crazy as Owen. He's like whatever. I mean, but
The
he's
weird little turtle man.
he's he gets pretty nuts sometimes. I mean, trying to think of a good Vox thing. I know he's had trolls for like a long time, and he's been around since Gamergate. I mean, I should say, I first heard about him from Gamergate, and I know that he was big in that whole thing, and I thought that was part of why he was popular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ditto.
And I don't know. What do you say about Vox? LMOA. Vox, he like. I mean, I guess. I was saying the other day that. Did you see he upgraded his internet? Like, I feel like that's a big percentage of the enjoyment of watching is having him constantly have his stream crap out, and now he's got lightning fast internet. His dad's out of jail because of coronavirus. I mean, Vox
He's
is
on top of the fucking world, man.
he's got unauthorized Vox. He's got unauthorized 2.0 about to drop.
Well, which is funny because we never got unauthorized 1.0. Not really. Not really.
Owen says we're delivering on everything we promised, guys. It's just a little late. Just takes time.
A year and a half fucking late.
How long do you guys give Owen on D Live? You think it's inevitable? I don't know if you've ever read their terms of service, but it's like it's a miracle he lasted this long. It's like no targeted harassment, no targeting on racial groups. No, I mean Owen violates left and right. So
Yeah.
Dude, if it's anything like his time on YouTube, he'll be there for 10 fucking years, man.
well, do you see
See,
he just got canceled from Podbean?
No.
Said that he was paying either $1,100 or $1,000 to the podcast service Podbean, and they sent him an email that said, "Sorry, we've had complaints and we're terminating your." That's where they were hosting a ton of the. Why didn't they laugh? If you guys all were saying that you watched the Why Didn't They Laugh episode, there's a good chance you watched that on Podbean.com.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
There
sure
was-
I did. Pretty
Yeah.
sure I
Yeah.
did, actually.
They're like the biggest
I wa-
provider. Like, yeah.
there.
They canceled him. They're like,
Well,
okay,
watch them on Podknife, and they're all still there. I don't
Yeah.
think that canceled because that letter said "dear subscriber" or some shit, or "dear customer." It
Mhm.
wasn't like, I don't know. I just don't believe him.
He's faking it. It's
Well,
yeah. You never know. You never know what they.
Right up his alley, dude.
well, as someone who has been doing podcasting for a long time, I mean, it's podcasting is still kind of the Wild West in the sense that, like, in terms of the format you can allow, like, there's more stuff that you can get away with within reason in podcasting. It's not like YouTube and other streaming services. So, I mean, Owen could very well move to another platform if he really wanted to. But, I mean, I know that there's been, some like the alt-right watch groups who have been watching him pretty closely and trying to ban him, which, part of me is part of me, to be honest, is kind of like good, but then another part of me is like, no, don't call him to be banned. Just keep documenting all of his fake stuff and put it out there.
That's
So
right. No need to ban. No need to ban retards. Just proof that they're retards.
so yeah.
I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him being banned. He's more than a fucking retard. But that's just because I've seen some real specific shit from him. So I'm fine with him.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Sorry.
Well, I mean, part of the reason why you might be lasting so long on D Live, and I'm just kind of spitballing here, but let's face it, I mean, D Live, it is growing, but it still doesn't have as big of a user base as YouTube does, at least not that I know of.
They love having him on D Live, man. I'm sure, dude, like he's in fucking talks or Coddington or Vox and talks with the owner of D Live, and I'm sure they're all fucking buddies, man. I'm sure
I
they're all.
miss I miss fucking stream.me.
Yes, yeah, same here,
Was that
man.
was that a Snicker milker?
Yeah, because didn't they get shut down because of freaking streamers feuding with each other, and then the
Yeah.
CEO gets roped in and gets doxxed, and he's fuck this shit.
Yep.
I'm shutting the whole
Yep.
thing down.
It was basically he was a casualty of internet blood sports, basically.
Yeah.
Stream.me, fucking Zoom and PPP and Ethan Ralph and all the furries and all the other degenerates. Ah, it was a beautiful thing.
Street,
And
street, stream.me that I was on there and I did like their user interface though. I was
way better than DLive has ever been, as far as user interface goes, in
way
my opinion.
way better than BitChute too. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Are you on other platforms, Milker? Are you just on YouTube? You got Milker Nation DLive. You got a Milker Nation BitChute.
BitChute, but it's not up
Yeah.
to date. It's not up to date, but I really should.
yeah,
'Cause
no,
Oh, wait, time out. Do you have Milker Nation backup channels that you want to
Oh,
promote?
Digital Jonestown,
Digital Jonestown.
and I wanna say thanks to. I want to give credit to Johnny Arcade. Name. That's where I heard that.
Well, both solid. I like that. So Digital Jonestown for if Milker Nation goes silent for like 6 or 7 or 8 days, he's probably got a strike, and you can probably find him on Digital Jonestown.
There you go.
I know the score.
what
I
do
know how
you,
that shit works.
unrelated to Owen, and I kind of wanted to ask you guys just in general. I mean, what do you think of all this election stuff that's going on? I mean, we kind of touched on creepy Uncle Joe briefly, but this COVID, and we're living in weird times, and Owen's just adding to it.
Johnny, you want to go first?
I think that you're about to see Trump fuck some shit up, man. Like, it's no joke, dude. These people spied on him.
Yeah.
Obamagate is real. Like, it's fucking real. And they Flynn shit off of false stuff. And then they opened up the Russia investigation on it. Like, dude, it's fucking shady as fuck. I don't think they're going to get Obama, and I don't think they're going to get Biden. But
it's gonna look bad, right?
dude, it's fucking. And they also got Biden now on this fucking. Okay, so they impeached Trump, right, based on his quid pro quo with Ukraine to investigate Biden, right? Well, so impeachment failed, and now they're investigating Biden, and they're saying that Biden did the same fucking thing that they accused Trump of, only way worse for way more money. And
Yeah.
he admitted
With actual proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, say with actual proof.
Yeah, and Ukraine is now investigating it, and they're calling him a fucking criminal. So,
I'm not gonna lie.
The fact that you see the liberal channels, like especially David Pakman, pissed me off with this shit. He's like,
Oh my god.
it's about Obamagate. You want to know what you need to know about Obamagate? Nothing. Ignore it because it's not real. It's like, dude,
Right.
you need to fucking read these goddamn transcripts, dude. I spent days reading scripts from the fucking basement of the house, and in every one of those motherfuckers, dude. No, there was no proof of collusion with Russia. No, none of that. They defined the collusion. I mean, it was nothing. It was a hunch. It was a fucking hunch because of he was conducting normal business. Dude, you're about to see some shit blow up. And it's going to be wild. And again, they're not going to get Biden or Obama because you'll absolutely have a civil war, dude, if here ever goes to fucking prison like that. But, yeah.
Well,
The FBI
I
is
think
fucking roll heads, dude.
I honestly don't know what to think anymore, man. The conspiracy leaning mind, especially after 4 years, and just watching the shit that's. I mean, there's no denial of the however you want to call it, like the uneven coverage, just the flat out attack on the man as just an individual. I mean, I've experienced it in person. I have personal friends of over 10 years, 15 years actually, that have literal Trump derangement syndrome, that want him. I've not heard them say that, but they're in the boat of, I don't care if his opponent boils baby, not Biden, because everybody hates fucking Biden that I've spoken to. But I don't care if his opponent boils babies and
I think Apex cut out there.
Yeah, he did.
He got grappled.
Apex got grabbled. Let's see. I think Boulder Von wants to come on or as well. Let's see. Is Apex you back or? I guess not.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, go shoot, Milker. What's up?
What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and you checked your YouTube feed and you saw Alan Powell uploaded a video and you clicked on it and it said he was on his way to your house? He was in his car.
If Alan Powell made a video said he was coming to my house, I would be like, I would try texting Alan and be like, great, what type of beer do you drink? So
If you had to guess, what kind of beer do you think Alan Powell drinks?
Well, Alan's from California, so he probably drinks like some microbrew. Which I mean is fine because I'm a beer connoisseur myself a bit, so you know
Okay. You weren't. Oh, right.
Wow. So I've been talking for like 2 minutes before I realized that I wasn't I glitched out of the call.
Uh-huh.
All right. Earlier, Future Nobody, the artist formerly known as Owen Benjamin Parodies V4, threatened to come on and break up this boring shit. So why don't we let him?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
Why not?
kind of curious
well,
what he has to say.
well, Boulderman wants to come on too. Who is an ex bear. I love
All right.
I love Future Nobody, but my only complaint about Future Nobody is his voice is like really high pitched, and if you see him if you see what he looks like, it's really like jarring because
Is,
because
isn't it just easier to say sodomite?
yeah, but I mean Future Nobody.
The train hopping sodomite. Get
Yeah.
it right. That motherfucker hops trains to pump butts.
No,
Oh, jeez.
no. Let's get a little crazy though. Yeah, I don't mind if we add him. So let's see though. Um.
So I just realized, as I'm sitting outside on my deck with a fire in front of me, that there are two other neighbors, certainly within earshot of me having their own fires. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Okay. Good. Because every time it goes silent, I think that I'm kicked out of the call. So I just wonder what I sound like without being able to hear what I hear as an outside perspective from 100 yards away.
You sound fine, and
Well, no. Listen, we're talking about. I just said something about sodomy and hopping trains and shit.
well, that was me. That was me referring to Future Nobody, not
Hey,
you.
mic
Well, that
check.
was me.
Mic check, real quick.
Hey Boulder.
Oh, copy.
Hey Boulder, you're good.
What's up, man?
Howdy.
I think Boulder might be cutting out now.
Well, yeah, I thought it was me again.
No.
See?
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting.
Oh, what are you waiting for, buddy? I mean, I don't have any face masks or gloves. I'm sold out currently. But I do have toilet paper. Would you like some toilet paper? No? Okay.
All right, I gotta shut a few other things down on my computer, and that makes it all the better. All right. So I did want to just come in and say thank you to Milker Nation, Johnny, and everybody else that's gone through all this shit and for making all the stuff you guys make. I want to say thanks to Alan, Semper, even Pinder. You guys know Pinder?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Fucking
yeah.
Tinder in the house.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny to make fun of. Pinder's so old jokes are just classic.
I hated Pinder, dude, but I like Pinder now. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I know Pinder from the Mr. Good Bear saga.
Ooh, I don't know that one.
Oh, the Good Bear saga. That's one of the best.
Not sure about that one.
Bye bye, Bad Bear.
Oh, so
Yeah.
I think I hold the record for being kicked out of bear discords. I'm at like 30 bear discords at this moment. I get kicked out of as soon as I show up.
I had no idea there was that many fucking bear discords. That's frightening.
Oh my god! And
Yeah,
you've
well,
been trying
Baseball, man.
to infiltrate.
Not really. I just get invited.
Oh,
I get invited, and I'm like, because I'm right there on the outside of the fence, looking to just like anytime a bear like walks near the fence, I just grab him and yank him out. That's my job. So I know a lot of people.
So it is
they make
infiltration to a
videos.
degree.
It is,
It's
yeah, but it's more like a psychological breakdown. Like Semper got one out last week. Oil Bear, who's a good dude, good
Oils.
family.
You know Oils?
I don't know him, but I just learned about him, and I'm like, all right, good save. So it's like bringing in the reliever at the end of the game. You got to save the game.
Dude.
Oil in one of his streams last week called me Whitefield. He pronounced my
Yeah.
That is accurate.
Johnny and I were both watching, and I said something in the chat, and he's like, "Oh, hello, Whitefield," and I think it's because he's from Minnesota, so and they pronounce white there or something like that. So.
Well, I think Johnny and
shit.
I talked about it in a previous Discord call that just how long we had been in the community or around it or known about it, whatever. And
What's up, Square Brain?
There's very few people that go back as far as Johnny or me.
I'm whacking it.
Nah.
I'm whacking at the Boulder's voice.
That's definitely future. Whack it hard. Whack it hard.
What's up, future Square Brain?
What's up, guys?
Oh, you're just nobody.
That's right. I'm whacking it right now. I'm whacking at the
know-
Boulder's voice.
I always loved me a little Southern.
A little Southern classic in the.
Well, I'll give you some goddamn Southern, you little piece of shit.
You just let him talk. I bet I could pick the county he was born in, just from his accent.
Go ahead, Scarf Guy.
Go ahead, Scarf guy. Yeah, I love scarves.
I know
Nothing.
you do.
Yeah, I wear them in the summer too.
Me and Boulder are about to rip this up.
You keep talking. I'm gonna show up in your county and fucking
I hope
make
so.
you wear a scarf. I'm gonna wrap one around your neck, boy.
You meet me behind the dumpster, boy. I'm gonna show you what this is all about.
Fucking tell you what.
Well,
Wait, you simultaneously wear scars and use them as a way of shaming and humiliating others?
Yes.
I gotta turn it down. Lisa or Lisa, whatever the hell her name is complaining again.
Guys, serious question. How did you feel when you found out Oil Bear was a stripper? He used to be a stripper.
I had no idea. I didn't find that out until just now.
Oh.
I honestly, I kind of did.
Milker
I kind of
has
did.
all the lore.
Surprised when I found out we used to strip at the same club and never met each other back then.
Sam was going to say you had your suspicions.
I kind of did a double take at first, but then I'm like, okay, well, I guess that is what it is. At least he's still not as gay as Owen is.
Wait a second. The only
like that
time
that's
I've
the
seen
myth.
this guy, he's like 250, maybe 280, bald and not stripper material.
He said when he was younger he was a good-looking guy, and he was wandered into an African dance class one time, and they recruited him.
You know
Into
many male
stripping.
strippers, Boulder?
Not so much anymore.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Milker.
That's it. They recruited him into stripping.
Oh,
Wow.
and an African
Okay.
dance class? So
Yeah.
is there some sort of African dance class conspiracy? Is that what you're getting at? Some gay agenda at the African dance classes? Holy
I'm not
shit.
getting at anything. I'm relaying. I saw on an Oil Bear stream, literally, not even joking. Right, Sam? Tell him.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
So,
Send the
somebody
link
back him up.
because I gotta have to like verify this.
Johnny
I believe
Arcade.
it. No, listen, I believe it.
Johnny Arcade, you saw this. Tell me.
I just want to know if
Yeah,
there's.
yeah. Oil bear stripper.
Oh, did you?
The thing is,
Oh,
like,
No, I
man.
saw
do you
something about
guys
it, though,
discount?
on.
Do you
I
guys
saw something about
discount
it on Reddit,
the
maybe.
people that are getting out now more than the people that got out at the beginning? Because
Yeah.
even when I was still in, I was like still pulling people out, or still like, yeah, but don't go all Owen. Even while I was like still in at the
No, I
very
mean,
beginning.
I think it depends how long. Excuse me. I think it depends on how long they've been in there. I mean, if you're talking about people like Coddington and Westside Bear, people who've been in the whole fucking ride, they've been through the Nimmer shit, they've been through the Crowder shit, they've been through all of the shit. Watched him turn his back on all these people.
Yeah,
Those
Jordan
people, like,
Peterson, yeah,
yeah,
Molyneux, Crowder, yeah.
people who just find Owen and then they get immersed into the bear community because there's still a lot of fucking like just nice people, dude, that are in the bears. They're just trusting, nice people who wouldn't assume somebody would fucking lie to them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think the fact that I mean, you can say these people are fucking retarded or whatever. The fact that you see what you want to see, right? So they see the family, they see the happiness, they see all the good things. So it leads me to believe these people are good people at heart. And they're just immersed in a community that they don't quite realize what it's being led by yet. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
For me, it depends on what they've stuck through.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
If you've been there through the whole thing, dude, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I was out way before the moon stuff, because that was right during all of the porcelain dock, and in the on the outside of the streams, it was in the hangouts, and it was in the discords, and it was in the Facebook groups, and like with Space Texan and Bunny and all that shit.
Hey, Milker, I need you to mute, this is your Discords. I need you to mute a certain pest in here.
Really?
But yeah, dude, you saw that shit, Boulder.
I saw the whole fucking thing.
Stupid fucking
From beginning
drama,
to
dude.
end.
So much unnecessary drama. Like, it's just dumb, dude. And it blew the whole goddamn thing up. Like, I don't know. People say, like, oh, like this, that the Bears were gay and shit. They've always been gay.
Nope.
Like,
I ain't gonna say that, because at the beginning it was great. It was golden days.
Yeah.
You know, it was
really
free speech and anti-pedophilia and attacking Hollywood and, you know, down with corruption. It was all of that stuff during the Trump election, because he was feeding off whatever the vibe was at the time.
Yeah, it was about the community for me. Like,
Yeah,
I really didn't
always.
give too much of a fuck about Owen, dude. But the people around me were always great, and until they weren't. But like, you know, dude, I will say this: if I'd listened to Owen 6 months before I started listening to him, I probably would never listen to him because I would have heard his leftist bullshit about Hillary Clinton.
Right.
But at the beginning, like, yeah, the community was not the way it is. He didn't. His message was very different. You know,
Very
regardless of
different.
if you looked into his past or not, dude. Like, he was espousing, you know, the shit that I believe in. So.
Well, and I do appreciate all of the exposure that that you guys are doing. Every, you know, Alan, Milker, all of that stuff. That I maybe don't have time to put together videos, but some other people in our Discord do very well at memes, and they're getting out there. The message is getting out there, even to the young new bears. It's getting out there, so people are still leaving, and they're not following for as long. And he sees it. He's getting desperate. So. I had this thing.
Too.
I see it, man. I see it because I talk to the people that are just out and the people that have been out for 4 years. And Like, I wasn't kidding. I was sitting at the high table right below all of them, talking with Delev, talking with Nimmer, talking with Coddington, talking with Artling Hartling, with Bearjew, with Westside. All of those planning sessions were planned. They were saying, what is our narrative this week? What are we talking about this week? And then that would come down to us, including Pinder and Semper, and it would get distributed to the wider community. So don't let them think that this wasn't a planned thing. They plan everything. All of it.
Oh, yeah.
Including
Always.
who they're going to betray next month. Next month. Next month. And here's one thought. So Alex Jones has 6 million followers, right? How many people do you think hate watch him? 10%?
I think a lot of people that watch Alex, actually, they find him endearing.
Sure.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
at
absolutely.
this point, if you watch Alex Jones, you're not watching for like the news, or if you are watching, you know, like the spin he puts on it. You get it.
Sure.
I think he's more.
Let's say
entertaining.
5% then.
And I think that's how Owen is, honestly, dude. I don't.
Out of 6 million people, 5% is 50,000 potential subs. That's how
Yeah.
Owen sees it.
Yeah.
What if it's 2%?
Yeah.
That's still 20,000 potential subs.
Yeah. Yeah. And the bonus to that is if he gets in with the person, right, and he goes on their show and he hosts their show, he can get the pro Alex Jones people,
Validation.
and then when he flips
Yes.
on him in 6
Yep.
months, then he can get all the anti Alex Jones people
Yep.
too.
Exactly. And so he's been on Shapiro.
Mm-hmm.
He's been on Jordan Peterson. He's been on Molyneux. He's been on Crowder. He's been on Jones. So what you got to see is all of these younger, disaffected viewers that aren't necessarily mature or sophisticated enough to see through Owen's shit. That's his audience right now.
Well, you know,
At
what
the
they say,
beginning,
there's
it
no
was
one left to
people-
hate. You hate yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Or you're going to follow somebody that maybe you shouldn't.
Well, he's already doing that, bro. You watch James True's streams? Holy fuck, dude. That guy eats too many goddamn mushrooms.
No, I've never seen that. Yeah, why don't you post that in the Discord and I'll take a look.
Yeah, Owen even did a stream with him, but he's like some guy Owen's been looking up to lately.
Well, I haven't seen an Owen stream in fucking 2 years, so.
Yeah, he's like the spiritual weirdo, dude.
The only time I see Owen is on Allen or Milker or, or, you know, somebody who makes a cut-up video.
Yeah, he's difficult to watch these days, bro. Half of his stream is fucking baby talk.
Yeah. See, I don't got time for that.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, I'm getting there.
yeah. So what in the chat says he even has young kids watching him, and exactly so. What I mean that was my point earlier and I mean, I want to ask Milker this, but for me, I mean, the masturbation talk is just like weird as all get out. I mean,
is it really, though?
I mean, it's not like surprising. I'm not
Right.
but it's just it's you know, like at most I'll make a few like crass jokes about like boobies, but I won't obsess about it. He's just that's all Owen's streams are about now is just, you know, common dick and
Well, I mean, you know, everybody keeps saying one day Amy's gonna leave Owen and shit, but I tell you what, the real plot twist is Owen falls in love with another man and leaves her.
Yeah, and you know, I saw all your guys, you know, stuff at the beginning. I do want to circle back for a quick second, and just let you know that it was Bunny that sent the email about the gummies because of the information that she had gotten from our hangout group.
Damn you,
And-
Bunny. You cunt.
And then she confirmed it to me on Facebook. Still have the message, by the way. But yeah, she's the one who wrote the email to Owen to kind of flip the script. And that
makes sense how she went from being a fucking nobody to being like the Lev's best friend all of a sudden.
Right. And well, at that time she had already been she was already at the second table, right where I was, with all the other lower class mods and people that have been around since the beginning. You know, Delev was in our group, Nimmer was in our group, because they were monitoring us. But at the same time, Bunny jumped up as soon as that happened, and she even, that's exactly what she told me. Yeah, Alan was right about Bunny. And you know, if I gotta scroll back through my Facebook messages, I'll pull it up. I'll post it. I mean, I was mod on the Facebook group with Bunny and Base Texan. I got to see all the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't there, but I heard from Sam that
I kicked Sam Whitfield from the Facebook group. I kicked him.
And then Alan brought me back, and then I invited Alan. So you're welcome.
Yep. Then I kicked Island.
See, like, this shit is Owen's worst nightmares, where everybody starts putting stuff together and people start getting along because they realize what's really going on. And yeah, I mean, just wait till, like, even the people that still fucking hate us, like, turn on Owen, and then all the fucking shit comes out. Because, like, one day, dude, he's gonna piss off Coddington. There's gonna be a day when Coddington has had enough.
I'm thinking Coddington and Fox are... I don't care about Fox, but Coddington, that little mathematician down there in Florida, that day will be his end for Owen. Or his brother. That's why I wanted to see if somebody couldn't find or get a hold of his brother. Because his brother's a working class guy, just like me, up in New York. Makes his own money, does honest work. All of a sudden, you don't hear a thing about him for 3 years.
That's because Owen totally fucked him over.
Yeah, well,
I mean, he went to his town. Owen moved to that town because his brother was like, "Move here, you know, I'll help you.
I'll take care of you."
Yeah, and then Owen fucking went there and blew it the fuck up, and then he had to leave. So, and then he called their dad.
But come on, though. Hold on a second. Back then, when Owen moved to that town, and he said bike joke, that's okay. Like,
yeah,
that was a joke. That was funny. That was. Well, I mean, we laugh at each other.
It was a 10-year-old meme.
Yeah.
But it was still like, it was not something that you should be banned from a town for. But he wasn't. But the church wasn't accepting his donations, which, I mean, you know, whatever. And I mean, he's in fucking New York, so like, what's he expect? I don't know. He knew better, dude. Too. Yeah, I remember the day he wrote that fucking song. And people in the chat were like, "Nigger stole my bike," and then he goes,
here's the thing.
guys, we can't really say the N word because it's too on the nose. Like, I can't really."
He didn't write that song.
He didn't write that song. I know he didn't, but what I'm saying is, when it came up in the chat, and he sang it, and then he stopped, and he's like, "Well, we can't really do that because it's too on the nose. Like, I can't really get away with saying nigger." Like, he knew better, bro. He fucking knew better.
Yeah, he did.
And you just saw the audience kick in, and he just fed off the audience. And
hey, who was the guy? Right when I got in, maybe Johnny would know. His name was Brian. He's out in LA. He knew Owen. It wasn't like Brian King or something
Bri-
like that.
Brian Callen?
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think so. No, because he was in the hangout groups, and I'd have to go back and look. But
Oh,
um,
um,
and Neary,
Nerai,
yeah,
Nerai is the roast battle guy from New York. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
hey,
So
hey Boulder,
yeah,
could you send me that screenshot with the whole thing with Bunny if you can find it right now?
yeah. I can't find it right now. Jeez, man, I will look. I will look. Hold on a sec. I mean, it's been, dude. I don't even know if that Facebook group even still exists. I booted myself from Base Texans Facebook group. I will look. Yeah, so Brian and Neary and I were on a live hangout group with like Kyle Kavanaugh. Do you guys remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Kyle has come and stayed at my house. I've had, I think five, no, wait, one, two, seven ex Bears come and stay at my house. One of them is probably on the stream right now. If Woodchuck is here, Basic has come to my house for Thanksgiving. So my point,
that's how you get murdered, bro.
no, no. This is how you prove that you're out and you're still a good person.
Sleep in my fucking bed.
Actually, one I'm just gonna say this. I may be responsible for a pregnancy that happened in my house with two people that drove from Ohio to stay with me in Colorado. And then as soon as they got back, she tested child. Yep. Positive. Child positive.
So Owen's not bringing his families together. Boulder is bringing is bringing families together.
Well, we can do it in a better way. We don't have to just be, oh, listen to that dumbass's message.
Exactly.
It's the same message. We've all been know that is correct. Well, why does he get credit for it? Fuck him.
I mean, Dennis Prager has been saying, start a family, be virtuous for, 30 years. So.
Yeah. And Owen's Prager video has been down since, what, for over a year?
Oh man, he loved Dennis too till he took that fucking video down. Then he hated him. Weird
Yeah.
how that happened.
Well, so I finally figured out why Owen pronounces Shapiro, and it's because the whole reason why I was in the Bears was because I discovered Owen on Joe Rogan's on that third podcast that he was on with Kurt Metzger.
Ooh. Yeah. All right.
And so I tweeted something out like, hey, I listened to, this Owen Benjamin guy. I'd like to find out more about him. So one of the Bears tweeted me and invited me in and saw that I had interviewed Shapiro and was like, holy crap, we need to introduce this Sam guy to Owen. And so Owen, the first time he and I DM'd, which was only like once, he mispronounced Ben's name like Shapiro because he was nervous about talking to Ben and wanted my advice. So like I just told him to be himself. So then when he started to make fun of Ben by calling him Shapiro, like I knew that even though he didn't mention me directly, that was a shot across the bow. So
Yeah, I could see that.
Because
I think it was something totally different, bro. I think it was because he was making fun of the Mandela effect and that old bodybuilder Frank Colombo.
oh yeah, that could have been it too. But I
That's what I
mean,
thought it was.
point being, and Johnny's pointed this out too. Like, Owen's watched all of our channels, like every single one of ours. Even that.
Oh yeah, Owen's watching this right now if he's not streaming, dude.
Or someone is going to report back to.
This.
Yeah, I agree. I know that for sure because I was one of the people that was tasked with doing this.
So did you ever watch my channel?
Got all the good information, dude.
No, I was on like Kyle Kavanaugh. I was on Pinder. I was on Semper. I was charged with watching them, the mods at the time, and you know, and everybody knew it. Everybody fucking knew it. Shit, why do you think Slapweasel still comes on to Semper's and Pinder's stream? That's his
dude. That dude.
fucking task.
Yeah. No, that dude is still all up in that bear chat all day long, dude. Just fucking away with him.
Yeah, the bear chat. You know who started that? My friend Joel.
The bear? Who?
He was at the beginning, but then he created the bear chat for the app. And then when he couldn't deliver the app, because he's not an app guy, he's a web-based developer. The two worlds are totally separate. You ask Basic, who's a programmer, he'll tell you there's an app side and there's a web side. I'm not. I'm in construction. I don't fucking get it.
Right.
But I understand the difference. So Joel created the original bear chat. That's where I found a lot of like Sergeant Peterson, Slapweasel, Kodiak. I know all these people for years before they're mods now because they haven't left the community. They don't agree. Now, if somebody's listening, fuck you. But not every bear agrees with what the big bear says. And a lot of your mods don't agree with what the big bear says. Coder bear. That's right, old bear. Coder.
Well, I can safely say that none of my mods agree with Owen, for sure.
Right.
I mean, I agree with some of what Owen says, but the problem is he fucking is also full of shit at the same time.
Correct.
But that's what I say, dude. Like, the good people and the bears, dude. I mean,
yeah,
you see what you want to see. You know?
If Kodiak wanted to get out, I would take him as a friend no matter what, because I've known him for almost 4 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that wants to leave the Bears, dude, and fucking be cool, dude. I have no problem with being cool to anybody that leaves the Bears at all. But, like, I'll be fucking damned if, like, people think I'm gonna be friends with somebody who follows a guy who flat outright said I would end up dead or in prison. Like, that's just not gonna fucking happen. But, like, it's like, I don't know. People that leave the Bears, whatever, man. I mean, they're, you know, I get it. I fucking get it, man. We were all fucking there. I mean, it was different at one point or another, but, you know, it doesn't matter, dude. I still get it, and I still understand, and I understand the way that Owen manipulates people.
Right.
Thoroughly. So
agreed. That's why like I hang around the periphery. That have been there
for less time. Yeah, the people who've been there for less time, they all seem very new. Like, they don't really know what's going on. So I just kind of like...
Yeah, but I thought about...
worry about the Bears like I used to.
I agree. There really isn't a motivation for me to because I'm not trying to pull 19 and 20-year-olds out of the bear group. At the beginning, I was pulling out like 50s and 40s and 30s, people like, hey, wake up.
I just mean like people who have been there for fucking 2 years, dude. Like most of the people who have seen Owen since, whenever, like the last 2 years, they're fucking not around. Like he's rotated his group, and it's all fucking.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes and no. Like, all right, for an example, this guy, Bam Bam Buckshot Bear, took Bear off his name because he dared to question a couple of things on Instagram. He got slaughtered. And he stood up for himself. And I said, I just DM'd him, and I'm like, sorry you're going through this, but guess what? There's more of us on the outside than there are on the inside.
Yeah. Well, and
pretty much.
Yeah, I do want to.
And I'm not giving up on them.
Well, that's admirable. I do have a couple questions for Milker Nation too. Now that I think about it, one of them, Milker, if you're still there, is what was the biggest what the fuck moment with Owen that you've encountered so far?
Good question.
Maybe an impossible question.
Well, can you rank them at least, or?
Dude, I was trying to think. I was asking my friend the other day, like, if you had to, because, E Scorpio's documentary was awesome. It got me thinking. I want to do a documentary after watching that. So, I mean, I should say. So I started thinking in that mindset of making a documentary about all this shit. And if you were going to do that, about this whole freaking whatever, just Owen Benjamin,
Blarp.
Blarp's like the best word, yeah. So what would be like the tent pole that's like YouTube vernacular? They say you should like when they're giving you tips on how to run a channel, they're like you should have content you can give to your customers daily, your viewers daily, and then breaking news stuff that you can apply, breaking news to your whatever you're talking about, and then tent pole events, and that'd be like just the major things like that you would build for that only happen every so often. So like the most important events, if you had to choose those for what you've seen in the past, I don't know, a couple of years of Owen, like they'd be, there's like Turpentine.
Oh,
Turpentine.
Oh, wait, I can handle this one.
Turn on.
I've got a philosophy on this. The now 8 phases of Owen. I used to call it the 5 phases because when I got out, it was only on phase 5. But if you start at the beginning, it was the Twitter and against pedophilia. We all remember that. Maybe you haven't, maybe you don't remember it, but at the beginning, it was anti-pedophilia, right? Or anti-chemically castrating your son from this PBS executive, and he called him out in Hollywood. He brought it up multiple times.
He didn't call anybody out in Hollywood. He lived in New York at that point.
Yeah, he had already moved to New York because it had happened 3 months beforehand on Twitter. This is when he started his YouTube channel.
Another
I was
John, Meltdown with John.
I was before that.
About the trans kids?
The trans kid, 3-year-old, hormones, chemical castration.
When that happened, dude, he was gone. He lived in New York already.
Yeah, he had already moved.
Yeah.
Well,
second phase of Owen was the beginning of the pre-Bears. So this is like pre-numbered podcast, pre-numbered YouTube videos. Right when... So this is a 6-month period. This is when Nimmer pissed off the DZ. Pittsburgh. Johnny, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that 6-month period passes. Then he starts getting a little bit of help. This is when Coddington comes in. This is when Dolev comes in. The first 6 months were all glory days for him, and the DZ is building. The DZ is building because he has already done his damage. See, the DZ happened at the very, very beginning.
Well, but let me explain something about the DZ though to Boulder. When the DZ began, we were not like a counter Nimmer insurgency.
No, I know.
The DZ started because Johnny's old nickname was Carlos Danger, which was Anthony Weiner's alias, and like the original DZ streams were just us all bullshitting for like literally 8 hours at a time about like random shit.
I was on those streams.
Yeah.
I was in those hangout on live with Kyle Kavanaugh, with some of the others, like Brian, like near. Anyway, they are the beginnings of this. So you got to understand that. All right, I got to read this. Alan, you know when Coddington's shitty commentary comes out, we are going to have a ton of clips to show the flat out lies. Yes, Alan, eventually we will.
Wait, Coddington's making a documentary now?
No, it's when he does turn on Owen. Or Owen turns on him.
Well, I predict that when Owen turns on Coddington, Coddington's going to eat his face off or something like that. I mean, even that's the other weird thing is like I don't get what it is about Coddington that is so special to Owen.
Well, because it's absolute loyalty. Absolute. I'm not sure that there will ever be a day that Coddington actually turns, unless it's like court propelled or.
No,
see, I don't even know if Coddington has kids or whatever.
No, I get.
The biggest thing in Coddington's life ever, dude. Like he will never turn on Owen. He's Owen's puppy dog.
No, I
agreed.
He's been through all, and he fought all of us and lied to every one of the Bears, dude. When he was going around telling people that the fucking FOIA paperwork that Chuck went and got was fake. He lied to every one of those fucking Bears, dude. And you know what? If Owen has anybody to fucking blame, dude, for his little story of getting ripped off out of $10,000 fucking dollars and being lied to by his best fucking friend, you know who he has to blame? The motherfuckers who covered it up. That's who he has to fucking blame. The motherfuckers who are still standing right next to him right fucking now going, we're your best friends. We're your best friends. We'll ban anybody who talks shit. That's how you got here.
Yeah, I can
That's
tell
how
you
you
that.
fucking got where you are.
I can tell you that Bunny and Coddington and Nimmer were all paid. They were all paid by the subscription profits, by the super chat profits, they were all paid. And they wanted more. They wanted to do the Joe Rogan, Alex Jones model. And the Steven Crowder model. Because that's where they learned it.
Yeah.
But he turned on them.
Owen himself that he has Joe Rogan and Steven Crowder to thank for teaching him how to survive without Hollywood.
Yep, absolute.
Quote.
Absolute.
Mm-hmm.
I have it straight from Nimmer and Bunny and Delev that Owen was paying all of them. Because they had to send down information into the second and the third and the fourth tier influencers, if you will, down into our hangouts, our discords, our Facebook chats, to get more people. New people were the best.
It's funny you describe it like that, because that's exactly how I would describe it when I left. Like, it was getting weird as fuck. And, like, it's very culty, dude. It's very culty.
Hierarchical.
And people don't understand how much the Bears are controlled by that type of shit.
Absolutely. And each new generation or phase of Owen is what I call it. So during Tommy Robinson, so we all saw Tommy Robinson videos, and he was very popular.
Song, wasn't it?
Yeah, I fucking wrote half that song. I literally wrote half that song.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, bro.
I remember.
So he'll ride the wave of whatever is popular or whatever is new. So you see that with the moon denial or flat earth or freedom of speech with Tommy Robinson or anti-pedophilia. Oh, that didn't work out. So let's move on to the next.
Well, hold up though, Boulder, because the moon thing was weird in the sense that, like, the moon denial thing was like a 30-year-old conspiracy. That was not a new thing at that point. Culture.
No, but what it is a way to identify the actual people that are going to follow you down the next 3 rabbit holes. And he already has the next 3 holes ready to go. So at that time, he wasn't even Christian. But when he brings up, in 3 months, I'm going to be Christian, in the meeting, I'm going, what the f... Like... Really?
So you're saying that everything he did was meticulously planned out then?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All the conspiracies.
Yep.
Wow.
He knew 3 months ahead of time what group he was going to target next, whether it was the flat earthers or the moon conspiracy people or the Christian disaffected, or just look at the plan, or the homesteaders, or now the pandemics, the antivirals. Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at the last 8 phases.
Well, now he's trying to do whatever he can to remain culturally relevant in the fringe. That's literally all it is.
So is Alex Jones. So is Steven Crowder. Where do you think he fucking learned it from?
Well, he did a lot. I mean, Alex is a completely different story though, because Alex is he
takes bits from each person. Look at his bits from Peterson, Jordan Peterson. Look at his bits from Shapiro. Look at his bits from Alex Jones. He weaves them into this web.
Absolutely.
I think he's actually going to come full circle and go back to his dad. where he complains about being molested and, you know, like, why didn't you tell us that 2 years ago when you had these 3 streams in a row about your dad? Oh,
Because
you just,
his dad had fucking threatened to call CPS on him yet.
yeah, well,
His
that's still a lie.
his dad got a letter from someone. But his dad got a letter from someone, and Owen said himself. He said, and I told my dad I'd fucking out him if he ever put my family in danger. And he got this letter, and it was all like, hey, "Are you hitting Amy?" and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "No, Dad, fuck you." And like that's why he turned on his dad, dude, because his dad asked him about fucking what was up with him, dude. Straight up.
Dude, when I was going through my divorce, my parents called CPS because they were worried about my kids. And guess what? I have full custody of 3 kids in Boulder, Colorado.
Which is no.
And if any,
Which is
Yeah,
no.
well, I mean, that seems fucked up, but I mean, think about what Owen is versus what you are.
yeah,
So, like,
that
maybe it's a little more legit to like have his dad, and I don't think his dad was even threatening
when
CPS.
when he
was
changed,
just like,
when he changed, I think there was 1, something going on behind the scenes. 2, he had left the state and moved from New York to Washington. 3, had completely changed his career. So the top 5 things that are in a person's life that are the most stressful and nervous and anxiety, we just named. There's only 2 others. Death of a loved one and death of yourself.
Fucking Nimmerline. Yeah,
Right.
he also had to cover the huge Nimmerline for over a year, which caused the death of himself.
I do like your philosophy on the Nimmer lie.
Yeah, dude, like everybody knew about it and everybody was covering for it, dude. There's nobody. Owen even said himself, he's like, nobody in my life believed except for me. Bullshit. You believed it because you sat there and you're like, I really believe this, guys. I'm not lying. What I'm saying is, I believe it's true. Like, he literally said that shit. Like, he had to
but see, I've sit here and I've talked to Nimmer for hundreds of hours before I knew any of you. Before I knew about any of this. And I can't actually see Nimmer holding up that lie to me. Now, I do start to see some of the discrepancies with why was he there for both children's birth? Why was he there for certain events in Owen's life? I'm going, I don't know. But you've got a pretty sound philosophy, bro. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people think it was Belev, dude, but when you look at, I don't know, dude, it all just makes fucking perfect sense to me. And then again, when you become so immersed in a lie like that with somebody, and then you have a whole group of people coming at you about that lie, like, you know what brings people close together is a common enemy. That shit bonds people, and those 2 and Coddington and whoever the fuck else was involved, Base Texas, were all involved in that little circle right then and there. Dude, they all bonded hard, and they're still fucking together. I wouldn't doubt if Owen still talks to fucking Nimmer. Like, I wouldn't doubt it.
No, I've got a couple of avenues on Nimmer.
I think Nimmer
wouldn't put it about it.
To walk the fuck away.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened to him. I think
I could see
Owen
that.
goes, here's 10 grand, fucking disappear, please.
Yeah, I could see that. That's basically what I see when I can contact, but it's like once a year. Also with Base Texan, he's completely irrelevant at this point. I mean, he was relevant at the beginning, but completely irrelevant at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is he an asshole? Yes.
He's doing his thing. I have nothing to do with that guy, bro.
Yeah.
I want nothing to do with that guy. I know who he is. He knows who I am. I think the two of us can settle it, right?
Yeah.
There.
Me too.
That's it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we can be in the same Pinder chat together.
Yeah.
Scorpio was in there with Base Texan, and we held it together civilly.
Yeah, nobody's out to see. We all understand what happened back then. We all get it. So there's no point in harping on it. But you know, like the fact is, people are still going to talk about it. But there's nobody's going after anybody over anything. Like there's none of that.
Well, the things that you and I remember, really, that we've been through, these aren't something that the new Bears know.
No, dude, they don't even comprehend what.
But I've gotten so many of these kids out without even bringing up any of the Nimmer shit. Okay, nothing about Nimmer or nothing about Base Texan or nothing about
because Owen's gone so fucking crazy now, dude, and that's why I tell when Scorpio contacted me about his documentary, I'm like, I wouldn't even really deal with the gummy shit that much because it's already been covered to fucking death, you know? It's like Owen does so much crazy shit that there's so much to fucking cover, dude, that's like I think to kind of answer Milker Nation's question about what points would you do, I think if I was going to do a documentary, I would lay it out, and what I would do is I would prove to people that Owen is gay, and that would be my goal. And I would take all of the things that he said, and I would present them like I'm presenting information to a jury. I would say,
correct.
Well, he's a liar, and I would do, this is who Owen is. This is the things that he said. This is why it means that. And that's
I agree.
And
absolutely,
when you do that, I mean, cover all of the bases, like him turning on everybody. And that's one thing I think Scorpio did, was name all the people that he's turned on and shown that progression. You name all the wild shit that he says, like you can fucking marry a 9-year-old, and that's more moral than, that kind of shit, the turpentine stuff.
Yeah.
You throw in those, dude, just as
I agree. I would do the 9 phases of Owen. I think we're on phase 8 right now. I've been, since phase 1. I think that if you do show people phase 1 through 3, they're like, oh yeah, good ideas, freedom of speech, anti-pedophilia. Oh wait, we never went to the moon? Okay, you lost me there. But now flat Earth? What? Huh? Okay, you don't believe in flat Earth? Okay, now we're on to everything else.
Right.
And you gotta just take those and just display the entire what do you call it? Reservation of Owen, and his progression is getting worse. That was another question in the chat.
His battle now is not. It's not an exterior battle where he's fighting with outside forces anymore, because there's nobody really fucking coming at him. He doesn't have anything else to lose. He's already lost all the fucking things that he can really go out and be like, I'm a victim for this. Like, so his.
I got a couple of inside dudes.
And he's battling his inner demons, like.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out too, like, how he got so fucked over. Like, I think he's trying to justify in his mind how he got to where he's at, and like, because dude, he made some really bad decisions, dude, that led him to a path to be surrounded by people who do nothing.
Wait a second. Really, really bad decisions? Are you saying well, let me say he fucked over the best-selling author of all the last 20 years, Jordan Peterson. He fucked over the biggest podcast of all time, Joe Rogan. He fucked over the fucking little Jew, Ben Shapiro. He fucked over Steven Crowder. He fucked over my favorite.
Everybody, bro.
Yeah, everybody. Anomaly and Fleckus.
Yeah.
Man, this pisses me off that he.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Sam. Let's read some content on the stream. Let's see what
Well,
they have to say.
well, first off, I think Milker Nation bounced, so or maybe you just had connection issues. I'm not sure, but we'll want to wrap this up soon because it is like almost 1:30 here. But I mean, Alan hit the nail on the head to bring Owen's quote. Conflict brings us gold. I mean, that's what Owen gets off on is conflict.
Agreed. But the progression of Owen.
Well, people are saying that they never knew that he turned on Anomaly, and oh yeah, for sure he turned
Oh
on.
yes he did. Yes he did. And Fleckus. Whether it was public or not, you have to know he did.
Owen's dying liver. Let me while we're kind of in this stage. Let me turn the Streamlabs donations back on because we do have a few. So, if anyone wants to donate and do TTS, streamlabs.com/the Whitfield Report. We have a couple donos. So thanks.
Nice. Basic is correct that Owen used to come into Pinder and Semper's stream and steal ideas. Like, what am I going to talk about today?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. This is everybody, man.
Yep.
Owen's dying liver super chatted. Someone please help me. I am dying a slow and painful death. Ever since Owen started drinking turpentine, I've been something. I couldn't read the whole thing, but very clever. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think we should also include Basic in this particular chat. Basic is a friend of mine, and he has programming knowledge, but he also has inside knowledge on the entire 5 phases of Owen. And like I said, I had him over to my house for Thanksgiving. He didn't kill me, okay, Milker? Look, you can invite people to your house and be okay.
Sure. I think if we want to do like another stream, maybe we should start like a second one, kind of like an after show. And I can set that up, but real quick if you guys don't mind.
We do Saturday night free for all. Is that what this is?
Yeah. What?
Bringing some motherfuckers up to the clouds, Sam.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's. So let me start another after show stream since this was mainly the Milker one. So anyway, thank you guys.
You're out of
And
Hey, Milker, thank you for what you do, and keep doing it.
yeah, so thanks for coming on, Milker Nation. I know you had to bounce, and I apologize for keeping you so late. But everyone, go over and subscribe to Milker Nation if you haven't already. And folks, one of the reasons why I want to cut this off is right now so that the people listening on audio won't get too bored. So there will be kind of a part 2 after show that I will post here in just a few minutes, and Boulder and I will be taking your questions and whatnot. So thanks to the people who tipped, and I'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you all, and God bless.
God bless.